Welcome back to Mik'd. Today's Friday, August 5th.
Not the
day,
3rd.
Right? Not the 2nd.
Or
not
the 2nd.
Or the 4th. It is the 5th. We are live from Uncle Earls like we are most Fridays. I don't want to say every Friday because there's sometimes I say that I can't do it because I got prior engagements. We are
Big Friday guy.
Big Friday guy. I love Fridays. Weekends are my time. Busy during the week. Weekends are my time. We're brought to you by Sterling Automotive. We have full crew today. Floyd in here. He's back on track. He's not as angry at the technologies because we have no video calls today. Thankfully.
No video calls.
Jay Mitch in the
The
house.
whole thing was broken.
Owner of Earls, one of the owners of Earls, BG. Thank you for coming, my friend, my neighbor, and Jack, the guy that you love seeing all the clips from and all the tweets from and all of the all the pictures from. That's Jack. So he will be.
That's social media.
That is social media. That's what social media is called.
That's social media.
Yes, our social media guy, our director of social media for the Mik'd Up show is Jack. And he will be here for a little bit, and he is going to the player interviews because he's our inside source for all information on LSU football right now, which is great. We got a big show though.
You didn't see?
Great Friday show.
God.
Got a little things, drinking, a little juice.
I don't know.
And
I got a Sprite, bro. I don't know what you're talking
We're
about.
enjoying the Friday.
I'm drinking holy water.
Enjoying that we haven't had too much rain today. Hopefully I didn't jinx it. But big show again. Our friend Kramer. He's back with the Cardinals. He's had a.
Did he get re-picked up?
The Cardinals reclaimed him?
Cardinals,
Shit.
Braves, Mets, back with the Cardinals.
Yep.
Oh, boy. What
He's
a
had
year.
He's had a wild year, but you know what? Could be worse. He could not be in the big leagues. He could not be on the roster. He's on the roster. He keeps getting put on the roster.
I think that's it. He's still on the roster.
He's still on the roster, on the 40-man roster, so he's still there.
That says a lot about the Cardinals. God, good for them.
Wonder if he still got a spot in Memphis. They let him at least
He's probably hotel
somebody
living.
moved
Hey,
into
I'll tell you what. He's hotel living right now, and that's tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough year. I know last I talked to him, he was a little exhausted, and he was kind of down a little bit because he just didn't know. He didn't have time. Like, listen, it's part of the game. Could be worse. You could not have that opportunity. You could clear waivers, and you haven't. So I'm happy that he's still getting these opportunities. Hopefully, it just takes one team to click. I've had a bunch of guys that have gone through the same situation he's gone through, and he clicks somewhere, and they make it, and all is good. Just gotta keep hanging around. The best piece of advice that I was given to someone who's not Juan Soto or Mike Trout or any of these other guys, he goes, "Hey, coach, you gotta trick them enough. Just try to trick them long enough until they can't kick you out anymore." And that's the truth. You gotta trick them long enough until you can't go anywhere.
Keeps getting claimed, so there's value in him.
No doubt, they like him.
There you go.
He's doing enough to stick around, and he's gonna get an opportunity. Hopefully, takes advantage of it, and goes from there. LSU. You got something to say?
Oh yeah, are we done with the Kramer topic?
Oh, we can keep talking. I was just gonna go down the list, but let's go.
Yeah. I just wanted to say it feels like we talked about a little bit about this before you got to the show on Wednesday, but that is the absolute ringer of like professional baseball, right? Wherever you're like that, yeah, he is going through the absolute. I'm here. I'm reclaimed. And it's like I don't even know what you would think at this point, where he's like,
we basically said, think of it this way: Robinson Cano and Kramer Robertson. It's pretty much had the same year together this year.
Yeah.
They pretty much had the same type of year.
Except for the money.
Except for the dollars.
Except for the dollars that Robinson Cano's getting.
Robbie's got tenure.
Yeah, he's got 15 years.
That every 2 week check looked a little different, but
But listen, that is a ringer. It is the business side of baseball. It's the business side of sports. What's that?
So many cups of coffee.
So many cups of coffee. It is the
green lid.
It brings the adage of, hey, no matter where you're at, you have to play baseball, right? Like the only constant, and when you move around and you're going to different teams, the only constant in that moment is baseball, right? The game of baseball doesn't change. The locker rooms change. The managers change. The coaches change. The atmosphere may change, but the game is the same, right? And so it's a very hard thing to have to be able to compartmentalize as a baseball player, but that is the most important thing to do, because if not, you're going to drive yourself crazy, you're going to be miserable, and you're not going to want to be there anymore. You've got to find solace in the fact that you're playing baseball, and that's it. And you're still playing, you still have opportunity to get to the big leagues. And
still a round ball and a round bat.
Yeah, like if Kramer, when I've talked to Kramer about some of these things, that's the message that I give him. Trust me, it's a lot easier said than done. I've gone through it. I've never been designated and claimed as many times as I've actually been designated once and never claimed after that again. So I mean, I was in the big leagues for parts of 5 seasons. I got designated, and I was like, damn, nobody claimed me. It was a bad time to get designated when that happened. I didn't get claimed. So he's got a better. He's been better than I have in that situation.
Like
But
3 for 3, huh?
He is.
what's that?
Like 3 for 3.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
Actually, yeah, 3 for
as
3.
long as you're on the roster, that's a positive.
Where'd
So-
Joey Gallo go?
Dodgers traded.
He
Doyer.
got traded to
He's
the
a
Dodgers.
Doyer.
He didn't get DFA. He got traded
Yeah.
to the Dodgers. The
Say-
Dodgers.
Just saying. Could have been you.
He may figure out how to hit again.
I mean, listen.
Baseball lab guys are out there. And,
Hey, listen. You're in New York.
Change the weather.
New York's a different monster. Like when you start struggling, the media in New York starts eating you up. It is hard.
Media is the same way there.
second biggest media
There's 3 cities, so probably about 4 teams where if you walked into the clubhouse in the big leagues where it's, all right, this is different because there's fucking 15 people here, media members, or more, right? And the rest of them, it's less than that. LA's one of those, but the thing of it is that I think it's a little bit past the media and the people in New York. It's just a different attitude. Like they're not as nice about it, right? Like if you're not playing well, it's like what happened? What you mean? What happened? I struck out. You saw what happened? I swung, I missed. What you talking about? Like that's the questions you get when you're like, you ignorant motherfucker. You really ask that question?
New York and Philadelphia.
Philly's bad. Boston's a little tough.
Boston's tough.
LA's pretty tough. Now LA has such a deep team and a deep lineup that I think it's gonna be easier for him to just to kind of like.
You could almost go Jock Peterson.
Right. Like when he's in New York, New York got him to be a guy in the middle lineup, and now he's probably going to LA not to be the guy, but to be, to have favorable matchups, maybe get some confidence back, and who knows what happens because he's obviously shown that he can do it.
Yeah, in previous years, but did you see what he said after he left New York and like how he handled it? He was like, I didn't go outside.
Yeah,
I couldn't do anything.
listen to me.
I was about to say, and when it comes to that too, like New York's different. Like as big
crippling,
big of a city as it is, as soon as you step outside, it's like it's in your face. Everybody's right here. It's
Speaking
fast
of
paced.
media
Like
in New York, I've been watching the captain.
Yeah.
Jeter was out in the streets, son.
Yeah, he was out in the
Jeter was out in the streets.
Hey, he came out and he said I had just finished it today, and they were asking him about the gift basket story, right? And he's talking about this gift baskets and all these different things, and I love it because now it gives you a chance to let Jeter kind of come out and say things like fuck these people, like what do you mean? Like that never happened, right? So he told a story about how he was in the coffee shop, and I'm not gonna give too many spoilers, but this is a story.
Yeah.
Because I was in the coffee shop and I was sitting there, and some guy who I don't know came up to me and goes, "Hey G," he goes, "Hey man, I'm starting to give away gift baskets too." And Jimmy was like, "You're a fucking idiot, dude. Like, I didn't do this. No, it's not true. Like, I don't know where this has come from or whatever." It's like to be able to see him, come out and say things like that, and that's awesome.
But are you believing everything he's saying?
I believe. Listen to me, dude. He didn't do that. I don't think he did that.
I mean, of course he would go the other way, right? Or, I mean, if I did do it, I'd be like, absolutely, dude. Why do you think they kept coming over? Like, this is great.
I don't think. No.
I'll say this.
I'll say this. He's still in college. We could test his gift basket. But he didn't start. I mean, you're still there.
Yeah.
Uncle Earl's gift card.
I mean,
listen.
Put one together before you start testing this out.
Look, I'm not saying. I just don't think that. For a guy who's so meticulous and so calculated about stuff that happens and gets out in the media, I just don't think that he would have put himself in a position.
I will say this: from the stories I've heard of him, it doesn't really align with his character about kind of how he ran. Yeah,
right.
He just seemed way he's way cooler than to do some
that's what I'm
that.
saying.
So I'm on the side of I don't really think that was true. But I've heard some great stories. So
listen. He kind of alluded to it.
Yeah, he's told.
Like, hey,
I had a good time.
I was single. I went out. I had a good time.
His list is strong.
He's got a whole star. He's got a whole baseball team.
It's the greatest. It may be the greatest list in the history
Hall of Fame.
Of any celebrity. I mean,
his list and one other guy that I won't bring the name up of, but you know him as well. Tall, bald head.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah.
I won't bring his name up, but
yeah.
He'll remain nameless.
But I mean, Jeter. Listen, he finally settled. Jeter finally settled for Hannah Davis, who's just the top supermodel in the world at the time. So
he settled.
He settled. He settled for Hannah, right? And worked out. Now he's got 3 daughters, and good for him.
No boys.
No boys. 3 daughters.
God knew better.
Just like Kobe.
And like, look, I think it's been very well done. I love it. I've been very entertaining. It's nice to see.
Does he have one more pump in him? You think?
What?
You think he's gonna try one more time, or are they done?
I don't think so. I think he's.
Who's the?
Maybe,
Oh, that's
I
his
don't know.
nephew.
That's his nephew.
Oh, he's getting all the
That's
attention.
one of the
then.
greatest. Yeah, that's the greatest ever.
I know. We haven't gotten that. We haven't gotten to
I
that
love
yet.
that thing.
Yeah.
We haven't. That's the next week's
The
episode.
savviest move by 3-year-old I've ever seen in my life.
That's
it.
what that
I mean, it just runs in the family. It just runs in the family. That's his godson. It's his godson. It's his godson.
That's he's gonna
but
get
it's
all the treatment.
but it's his sister's son though.
Yeah. It's his sister's
yeah.
son, and Jeter is his godfather. Which was sick. I mean,
the run
that's-
he was on, like I was in high school, not really following professional baseball, I guess that much, but like 96 he wins it, 97 they know, and then he wins it 98, 99, 2000, and they play for it again in 2001.
Probably should have won it.
I know.
Well,
it was
that's what he
9/11.
said.
Yeah.
He goes, and this is why I love Jeter so much. He's like,
Diamondbacks.
yeah, lost the Diamondbacks, and then in 2000.
Dude, I
Gonzalez.
forgot about this. They had Randy Johnson and Schilling.
And Schilling.
Schilling.
Yeah.
And Luis
They were
Gonzalez.
two
And
MVPs.
Luis
And Louis,
Gonzalez.
yeah.
And they, and then so 2001 they lost to the Arizona, to Diamondbacks. 2003 they lost to Miami. The Florida, it was the Florida Marlins.
Oh, yeah.
That's when they had Miggy
Beckett.
and
Yeah.
Beckett
And Beckett.
and those guys, right? And Jeter goes through and he's like, obviously I've won 5. Like I had this big run. He goes, problem with me, I've never been able to like enjoy it. I've always looked at or what could have been, right? Like I look at the times that I know the series that I should have won. He goes, 2001 we should have won. 2003 we should have won. 2004 up 3-0 against Boston should have won. Like, and now he goes, now I'm saying this, I'm talking about this, and I act like I'm a loser. Like this is,
Yeah.
I'm acting like a loser by saying I should have, could have. That's a loser comment. And again, that's why Jeter's so awesome.
How many
That's why
does
Jeter's
he
Jeter.
have total?
5.
5?
And he could have had 8.
I mean, he could have had.
To put it in perspective, like
It's like Brady. I mean, Brady could have. I mean,
well,
Brady
just
like.
put it
Yeah.
in perspective.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
As popular as Michael Jordan is, like his championship run went through the middle of his career.
Yeah.
Imagine showing up to the biggest stage and out the gate pumping out 4 of them.
Yeah.
Like
And
that's that in the biggest
4 in
media
5
market.
years.
In the biggest media market in the
In his
world.
first year, he wasn't a starter. Like,
No, he was on the bench when he went to play. Yeah, on the bench
Yeah,
in the
well,
playoffs.
he didn't-
Well,
he didn't
that
win
wasn't even a year.
He
He
didn't
came
win
up-
that.
yeah,
He
he
didn't win that though.
He wasn't even on the
No,
active
that's-
roster.
yeah, they
Yeah,
lost.
and they
That-
lost in
was
the
that 95?
CS.
Was that
Yeah,
95? They
95
won
and
in
96. It was
yeah.
rookie of the year. They won it. They
Yeah.
lost in 7, 8, 9, and 2000. They won.
Yeah.
So 4 in 5 years.
Then the thing, he's in the media market. He's got a Jordan brand, Jordan Cleves, you know what I'm saying?
And then him
was
and
he the first,
Jordan-
was he the first Jordan?
Jordan
Was he the
did it.
first Jordan
Yeah.
athlete?
Yeah.
Him and Jordan are boys. And like it's
Probably
awesome. It's really cool. It's really because like I grew up in it and watched it, but like in the 90s I was young, and then 2000s I finally really started to like, I was
I think
10.
I think we were around the age where we grew up in it and saw it, but we didn't realize.
How good it was?
Well, we didn't realize where
he
it
was
was in
doing.
his career.
And then-
you
Yeah.
just saw it as it happened in his
Right.
career, but you didn't realize like this man just showed up this year. When?
Yeah, and then you
I
get
wasn't born yet.
you go through the 3-year span of
Yeah,
like the Red Sox, Yankees when they're always in the ALCS, and that's when I really started like being in the middle of like all of this baseball stuff, right? And so then that stretch, they didn't win it, and then I was like, damn, the Yankees would always get there and lose, always get there and lose. That was my mentality. And they won in 2009, in the first year of the new Yankee Stadium. That's when they had Swisher and Teixeira, and it was like the new age
Jack was
of
still
like,
eating Lunchables.
yeah, right. Yeah. That was like the new age version of the Yankees, like what they were in the '90s. That's like the new. That was like the first time they got back to that. So sick.
Hey, that 2009 team was fucking stacked too.
I
Oh my
crushed
God.
it.
They actually had a personality, which made it awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had Swisher, they
Well, they
had
brought
Teixeira, they had
Sabathian.
and they had Burnett.
They did. AJ was
AJ
on that team.
Burnett.
And that's what all those guys. That's why they did like the pie face thing. That's when
Yeah.
that started.
Oh, in
like,
the towel?
Yeah, and like they just it.
That's
you know,
not the Yankee way.
No, that was,
had-
that was
was
the
it?
year A-Rod got popped. The
Yeah.
year A-Rod played. He
To start the
appealed it.
year.
And he appealed it though, and he played.
I know. He came back, yeah.
Yeah.
He did the 80 and or was it 60 at the time?
May have been 60 at the
I think it
time.
was 60 at the time still.
I don't know.
Was Giambi on that team too?
I
I
believe
don't
so.
know. Maybe.
No, I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. But like, listen.
Lots of needles going around.
The more I watch this, the more I hate A-Rod.
I agree with that.
There's
I mean,
nothing
yeah.
that he can do that
It's
makes
not
me
even,
like
It's
him.
not even the more
It
you
has
hate
nothing
him.
he
You
says.
just
love
Jeter more.
everything you've heard about A-Rod, you just like, bro, he just has no feel.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have any feel. Like this shit that he says, the things that he would do, you just like I'll say this: you sit there and watch the whole thing. Go back and watch it. Everyone they interviewed was either in a shirt a blazer with a t-shirt, a blazer with
Yeah,
a
comfortable.
Yeah.
A-Rod's in that bitch. Up to the neck, tie up to the neck.
Yeah.
Like, why are you overdoing everything? Like, what are you doing?
Too much, bro.
He's that guy. He's the too much guy.
Nothing's genuine. Nothing's genuine.
Every time.
But if you haven't watched The Captain, go watch it.
Again.
It's very fun. I know it's like it's football season. I know you probably, but it's really well
Captain.
done. I mean, yeah.
Nah, it's a great
Hat
show.
tip to the captain.
Come on, it's a great show.
Hat tip to the captain.
It was good.
But let's talk about football because it's football season and we're getting closer. LSU started. First practice was yesterday. Jack was there. Got some video. Was it yesterday? The day before?
Yeah.
Yesterday. You got some video. We had a lot of video, do a lot of good stuff on social media, except for the offensive lineman video that got
Let's show
300
some
views.
love to the big boys.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
That's how you win football games, people.
It is. In the trenches.
You can watch
We
the
win them in the trenches, but the trenches are the nameless faces.
No doubt.
That's how it
No
goes.
doubt. That's how it goes.
They
Listen,
know what they sign up for.
You can watch the first 2 possessions of the football game and watch the trenches how they go. You can
have a pretty good idea.
Absolutely.
But you can't really tell anything. Brian Kelly came out and kind of gave a soft deadline on when he expects to see some separation. And this is what I like about this, right? And like I'm by no means a quarterback expert or a football expert. I love football. I'm a football fan, just like a lot of people listening and watching. But from the past, and you watch our head coaches, you watch Les Miles and you watch Ed Orgeron. Yes, the history of LSU developing quarterbacks and having a quarterback battle, right? Just didn't really feel like you had a system to decide on the guy or a plan in place on how you're going to determine who the guy is. They were just going to say, oh, we're just going to throw these guys out there and we're just going to see. It seems, listening to Brian Kelly talk and the preparation into the season and leading up into this part of the season, that he knew all along how this was going to play out. Not necessarily who was going to win the job, but at what point during the practice sessions he was going to need to see something and make that decision, right? And so
To me, that sounds more like it's already premeditated and known, if more than anything. But I understand him putting it out.
right.
That
So
way.
what
I
I'm
was
saying
about-
is,
I was about to say, it
what I'm
sounds
saying
like-
is, the reason why I'm saying this is because I feel like he has a systematic plan of when he is going to install certain things and when he expects these guys to either adjust or not adjust to the things that he is installing, and when the defense is installed, and he has a plan. Like, it just seems like it's planned, right? Like
That's what he said in
the
the
game
press
plan is
conference.
planned, right? And so he says that, you know, the second-ish week of spring, you're going to start to see some separation, which means, okay, the second week of spring is when you're going to have really everything is going to be installed. You're going to have to start playing against some complex defenses and complex coverages, and you're going to have to start making some real fast decisions, and that's going to make the determination. And to me, that is a very smart and very intelligent, calculated way to make your decision on your quarterbacks, right? Not just saying, oh, who is going to make me look good and who looks the best on the field, but, you know, maybe we can work some things out. No. Who looks the best in the offense that we have? It doesn't matter who's the most talented. Who is running the offense the best? And I think that's kind of where he's going with it.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said the second week when they get into like practicing third and longs and more situational football, they'll start pinning playbooks to the different quarterback styles.
And that's it. You know why? Because what separates a good quarterback from an okay quarterback is being able to make the 3rd and 10 throws in a tight window on a crossing route.
I'll say this.
Well,
go ahead. No,
I'll
go
say
ahead.
it sounded a lot like he knows who he wants to win the job, and he's just.
I was gonna say,
sure.
he's
yeah.
just making sure that it's the right move.
And that's okay.
I was
And that's
gonna say, yeah, you have a plan, and it's not just let's see what sticks on the board. But I would imagine there's a leader in the clubhouse in his mind.
No doubt. And there should
You know,
be.
and there's the one that leader, and maybe that leader is the one that he also probably wants to win.
For sure, but
And-
I would assume that he's not going to let that cloud his. Like, if he sees something different with his eyes, he's going to make that. Yes.
He's got to make sure. But I will say, as like just between observing in the camera lens, just not the football because they all looked great. I mean, they were throwing 10-yard slants and little curl routes. I mean, they all looked great. Obviously, they're at LSU, but Nussmeier, the order might not mean anything, but Nussmeier was going first the whole day. It was Nussmeier, Daniels, Brennan, Howard.
Right.
But also, you could tell that Nuss was like it almost. I'm not gonna say that Daniels and Brennan were going lackadaisical because they weren't, but you could tell that Nussmeier was way more intentional about chatting it up, communicating with his guys, even in simple drills like handoffs. Like he was always leading, always talking, when BK came over to watch them do the handoff drills, he would go off to the side and ask Brian questions, and Brian would
That's great.
talk to
I
him.
love that. I love that.
And the other two weren't doing that. Not saying that means anything,
I know.
but you can
Means
tell that
something
Garrett was
a little.
being...
It means he's taking initiative on himself to go out and make sure that he is being seen. I will say this, I love that. I'm a Nuss fan. I think Nuss is good. I think he has potential to be really good. I think we have a couple guys who are going to be good for us if they win the position. I don't put any stock into anything until you have pads on. You're playing against a defense. Like anybody can look good, hanging the ball off in drills and making throws. Listen to me. You got no pads on. You got nobody rushing you. You have no. You're not even in a drop. You're just doing a drill. Like you can look as good as.
Like Mike Tyson said, right?
Yeah.
You got to get pushed in the
Everybody's
face.
Until you get kissed in the mouth, I don't really care. It
doesn't. You know, but listen, it's good to see that he's doing that. Now, what's going to happen when B.J. Ojulari comes off the edge and he gets hit, or he fumbles a ball, or he makes a bad throw, 2 bad throws in a row, back-to-back interceptions in the scrimmage? Is he going to still be chatting up? I hope. If he is, that's a sign of a good leader, and that's a sign of a guy who you want behind. Now, if he's going to cower and go back and not be that same guy, it's the same thing you talk about in baseball, right? When a guy is hot and he's having a good month, he feels like every game he's getting a hit. This guy is chatty catty.
Yeah,
he is really fun. He's interacting with the fans.
Big Fairweather guy.
This guy goes 0 for 12 with 7 punchies. This guy's sitting in the dugout, head down, crying, doesn't want to talk to anybody. First one out of the last one in the clubhouse, first one out, like
Doesn't want to be around
Not
anybody,
the guy.
not helping the team win at
you're
this
fake.
point. Yeah.
That's a fake.
The level of success, when you're talking football and baseball, the level of success is different, but the consistency in what you do and how you go about stuff needs to be the same.
No doubt.
That's just how it goes. You know
No
what I
doubt.
mean?
No doubt. And I think I'm not saying anything to knock him. I think that what he is doing is all really good, and he should be doing that. I just want to see, and I'm not saying he's not going to. He comes from a coach's family, his football family.
Seen it his whole life.
Exactly. So I think he has the
Intangibles.
gumption to be able to do that and get through
Man,
that.
okay. Gumption.
Vocab.
You like that?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I think he has that the ability to overcome those things, right? Even if something goes wrong. But I want to see it before I start saying,
Absolutely.
all these things
Yeah.
are going to be, you know.
Well, and you could even say, like, speaking to, like, his personality and gumption, whatever, like, the
Twice.
order is
Twice.
probably...
Maybe that's a shirt too.
Yeah, gumption.
Debacle and
I'm
gumption.
telling you, it's not catching on. I'm not
You don't like the
jumping on the
gumption?
train.
Forrest Gumption. Do you, like, I think that even probably the quarterback, like, drills aren't predetermined. He wants to be first. Like, he's going up there and being
Oh, for
first.
sure.
Like,
For
they're
sure.
not saying, hey, we're going nuts.
Yeah.
like,
No
he's like,
doubt.
fuck that, I'm
No
going.
doubt.
Like, I want to throw to him and him and him, and then I'll work back around. But I think that shows, like, I want this fucking job. Like, you can go, like, whenever you want.
He's
but
forcing Brian Kelly to make somebody go in front.
You have to see me if you go one.
No doubt.
I
No
will
doubt,
say,
which
and just-
I appreciate that.
That's just what I paid attention to, because obviously in the first few days you're not gonna be able to tell anything apart football-wise. So you might as well look at the
Intangibles.
leadership and the want to.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. Now, is there a way you can bet on the starting quarterback?
No, I'm actually I'm looking at lines right now on the season win total to see what different shops are offering it. And juice, you could probably find it somewhere's. Probably got it.
What's the
Let's see. On
seven?
LSU?
Is 6.5? I saw 6.5 and 7. Is it going up or down? If it goes
Please
down,
tell me you got it at 6.5.
I hope I didn't get it.
Holy shit.
MGM's carrying 6.5 minus 20. Caesars is carrying 7 minus 10. So there's no point in landing 7 for 10. You can lay 6.5 or 20. And I was actually pull the schedule up and go through it, and let's let's start counting here. I think the first game of the year is the biggest one.
And that's what we
You win the Florida State game.
I've been saying that for a while.
It determines the entire
Not
year.
even win it. I need to see how it's played.
100%.
I need to see how it's played.
Well,
And
we
look,
talked about that.
and I'll be honest with you. Part of this is how well is Florida State going to play too.
100%,
Not just
absolutely.
hey, we blew them out, or hey, they play close. Like what they got coming, because they got a lot of starters coming back too.
Well, and if
I know it's it's the coach is fairly new, but they got some players coming back.
Coach on the hot seat though.
But
too.
and to that point, like they've already played each other. They played the first game of the year last year. It was Notre Dame versus Florida State, and that game was close. And that was Brian Kelly at Notre Dame for however long he's been there, 8-9 years, and Mike Norvell's first year. Norvell obviously it probably feels
No, I'm gonna tell you
obviously
this.
hot seat for sure,
I'm gonna tell you this. Norvell's
but feels more comfortable with what he's got.
gone at the end of the year, and Deion's gonna be the coach next year.
It's gonna happen eventually.
Hot take. Hot take.
That's what's happening.
Hot
Norvell
take.
is getting
Hey,
canned.
the no hot take guy. Hot take.
Norvell is going to get shit canned this year.
we're
And
trying
I'm
to
only
have a
saying this because I know guys Florida State guys that want this to happen, and
Dude, the Norvell pick of him in college with the
they hate Norvell. They hate him. They cannot stand him. He hasn't been good.
Well,
They haven't done anything.
It was after they lost Travis Hunter too. Once they lost the #1 recruit in the country
Dude,
that was supposed to go to Florida State, and Dion pulls him. It's like
He is
oh,
going.
this guy can
Norvell is
recruit.
getting fired, and Dion is going to be the head coach of Florida State. Watch. Next year.
I might not bet on that. I probably wouldn't bet against it though. It's not a. That's no, absolutely.
I think that's
I
going.
thought
I think.
it was gonna happen already.
I thought
His seat
Norvell
was-
was going to get fired last
I'll say this.
Especially with NIL now. The NIL thing changed
Hey,
everything.
I'll say this just for the position that LSU's in. So like, say if Alabama was playing, I don't know, name big school. Like, yeah, it's a big game, but if Alabama takes care of everything else, like, there's no questioning who you probably think Alabama is. This is a huge game for LSU in the sense
doubt.
of it says a lot for them right now. They need to win right now in a sense of you got a new coach, you got a new system, you're trying to attract the fan base back to where it is, where it's been in the past. And obviously for the outlook for the rest of the year. Because where it's been the past 2 years, that just can't keep going that way.
Not only that, it's massive for the brand. LSU is getting these primetime games wherever they're playing. Like, you look back pretty much through, I mean, you can go all the way back to 2010, 2011 when they started. Yeah.
I mean, Virginia Tech. Remember they used to play
2007.
Virginia with Keelan Williams and stuff? Like,
It's going all the way
But
back
I'm saying
to
if they continually
before
lose
that,
these first games
honestly.
of the year, they'll be like, I mean, we don't really
when
need this.
when
they
Nick left,
haven't really lost many of them.
when Nick left
No,
here,
but if you do it 2 years in a row, new coach, and then you just lost to
I'll
Florida
say
State
when
that
Nick
nobody
left
believes
here
in.
is about the time where
They started doing
it started being the
06,
height of the
05,
program.
06,
Yeah.
07. Yeah.
You're talking about the lines, right? Perfect segue into me announcing.
So you're calling it? Perfect segue?
Before we get there, just hey, just look at this. Alabama. What do you think the line is on Alabama to win it all this year in college football?
I was going to ask
Plus
you that in the break.
175.
How do you see
I
this?
think
be
it's
plus
mine. I
300.
think
Heard
it's,
my screen, Jack? He reminds me of Brooke. I asked Chris a question. Brooke's like, I mean, damn, come on, Jack.
Great
plus
radio,
175.
Jack.
Oh, way to tell the whole class the answer.
Alabama's plus 175.
That's unbelievable.
To win it all.
I was
unbelievable.
Dude, I was going to say 125. They returned 9
I was going to say,
on
part of me was
offense.
Like, why would I
they're
even
gonna
take
be-
that bet?
They're going to be minus. I thought they were going to be minus.
I'm never taking 175.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
No.
why would I take that bet?
No.
Georgia's plus 400.
I wouldn't take that either. I don't think they're going to. I mean, I would take that, but I don't think they're going to win it. I don't think Georgia's going to
I
win
would
it.
probably bet if I was betting this, Ohio State's plus 300. I'd probably bet Ohio State plus the 300 with the intention of getting them to the championship game.
And hedging?
It's gonna be, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you can
I
hedge
say
it.
hedging depending on how much money I had on it.
Yeah.
I'd probably throw it, but I mean, you can have plus 300 and then
Right.
I don't know. They could play Alabama in a championship game. The line might be 7, and then you got to lay too much. So I don't know. But
Well,
Ohio
we've been
State's
talking about making bets and putting futures on the 7. Caesars has the over under for 7.7.
Get that thing bumped
I
down
can't
half
talk.
a game.
Over under for 7 wins
Yep.
for LSU, right? We announced on Wednesday. I know Jordy has announced on his show. He has 4 LSU tickets for the first game to give away. We have 4 tickets for the first LSU game to give away. Now, there are some stipulations, and the people that we have been talking to and have been very generous with their time and their betting and using our promo code that we had with the app before. Apparently, you have to somehow get another one. Use this other promo. You have to use this promo code if you already have the app downloaded. You have to use your wife or your girlfriend
you just have to
or
use
your
a different
sister.
email.
Nope. I don't think email is going to work. I mean, you can try to use a different email to try to work it.
I've tried.
You have to use a different because they use your social security number. So like,
Leslie's account's
Yes.
already banned before.
but you have to use somebody in your family that does not have the Caesars app.
They don't
Sportsbook
have the
app.
Caesars app, but they do have a social security number.
Yes. So what
the
you
real,
do?
The real trick is.
So here's what you do.
You have a kid.
Okay,
and
well
then you
that's
use their
I'm not
social
promoting
security
having
number.
children.
So
what you do?
what I did is my dad's a little older. He's probably watching the show. I just use his social because by the time the taxes come back, he'll.
Oh, my bad, dog.
Yeah,
That was
sorry.
me.
Are you still living? No way.
We're gonna win, Randy. I promise.
Yeah, sorry. No, but we have these giveaways, right? So what you need to do is you need to download the Caesars app. You need to use the promo code MMLSU15
Yeah.
to be able to qualify
Yeah.
to win these 4 tickets to the LSU Florida State game in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Right? MMLSU15 is a promo code. Again, thank you for using the MM15 Mik'd
Uppercase,
15
lowercase.
code. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. MMLSU. You can do them all uppercase just to be safe, but you don't. It doesn't matter. LSU 15 is that's how you
Mother's milk.
enter to win.
If there's a different one with lowercase, it'd be kind of weird.
Yeah, that's how you enter to win. That's how you enter to win the 4 tickets for this giveaway to the game, right? If you've already downloaded the app and you've already uploaded a different promo code, again, you have to try to find somebody
to have a kid
and
with.
Here's what you do. You go talk to your friends or talk to somebody else who doesn't have it. You say you sign up. If you win, we split the tickets, right? Like you go halvesies. There's 4 tickets. That's how you have to do it. I apologize that you can't, if you've already signed up for the app, you can't use it. But that's LSU 15 is the promo code to win that. We also have 4 tickets to give away to Saints. A Saints preseason game. Against the Chargers. Thank you. Saints preseason game against the Chargers. That promo code is Saints 15. Pretty easy. LSU 15, Saints 15. I'm assuming people are going to want the LSU ones. But
before you get have you ever been to an NFL preseason football game?
No.
Yeah, you're not even going to be able to give those away.
What the hell?
Dude, preseason football.
Hey, man. These are what's given to us.
He's talking about MGM. He's talking about other.
No,
here we go.
He's the best in the business.
No doubt.
Dude,
No
the
doubt.
best
I'm with
in the
you.
business. That's the only one I use.
I'm with
Absolutely.
you. But LSU 15, that's how you get the 4 tickets to the game in New Orleans against Florida State. You have to sign up
And then
using
just
the app.
stay the weekend, go to the
Great
Saints
promotion.
game if they're on the same weekend. I have no clue. But there is actually, if you want to talk about Saints preseason football, that you actually want to watch the first game that they play is against Derek Stingley in Houston.
That's where we're going. Oh, it's in Houston.
Yeah.
Saints look good. Saints. Listen, Ian Rappaport came out today with a report. I guess he's at Saints camp right now, and talked about how good they look. Talking about that they are. Jameis Winston looks really good. He said Michael Thomas looks awesome. He said he looks very fast running in and out of routes.
Caught 2 touchdowns today.
He says Jarvis looks really good. He says the defense. He said that gushing over how good they are. Yeah. And I knew that we were going to – I think everybody thought that they were going to be talented.
It's hard to bet against them. It's hard to they're not talked about, and you just look
love
at the
that
roster.
they're not
But
talked
I'm
about.
just saying, but for a roster that literally, if you read it from top to bottom, I don't understand how you don't talk about that roster. I get it. Sean's gone. Things have changed, but
that's the other thing he said. He said that they asked him about what's different between now. Do you think that anything's going to change because Sean Payton's not there? And he said, well, I talked to Pete Carmichael, who you talked about. Pete Carmichael's been there since day one. Sean Payton's been there, right? And so Ian Rappaport was like, no, nothing is going to change scheme-wise in the way that they run the offense and how they call it. He goes, maybe some more downfield shots.
Which we knew.
Maybe some more of Jameis's stuff. He said the only thing that I've noticed that's different is the atmosphere inside the clubhouse and inside the – he said it used to be if one thing happened, some small thing happened, it was Armageddon. Shit went down. It was a little bit not tighter and
it's looser. It's looser.
Yes, it's a lot looser of an atmosphere right now. And he said, I think that the way he ended it was, I think this was much needed in the building. So I think maybe that was some of the issues in the past. I don't know.
I would imagine that that's a good thing for him in the short term.
As long as they have accountability, you can still be
so
loose.
I would imagine it's a good thing for him in the short term. I think in the long term, you run into a situation where you're potentially running into the Pittsburgh Steelers Antonio Brown situation where if you in a sense of no. What I'm saying is when you have
out there.
Listen, obviously that's a different. But I'm saying when you have so many older guys' personalities who are probably on their own program and you run things looser, when that time goes, young kids come up under.
Right.
They see them do whatever.
100%.
It turns into I think I could do whatever the fuck I want.
100%. Now I want to know that's him. I want to know what that definition of loose means. Is it a little bit more fun? And
that's what it sounded like to me.
Or is it anybody can do it? I think there's still structure. I think it's just a little bit more fun.
I think in between the lines, it is just as structured as it was before.
I agree.
And then when you step off, it's a little bit looser.
I agree, which is good.
That's what it sounded
like.
But
I also think that's a little bit weird to hear because you saw everything. I guess when things were right, you saw how much fun the Saints were having. They had Club Dub or whatever. They were dancing on the sidelines. There was never really a point whenever you're this team is as strict as hell. Sean Payton lets you go if you were able to win. Now, if you start loosening up and you're Doesn't matter. Wait,
But
we're
Sean
all good
even
here.
seemed like he was fun. Like he was making
These
jokes.
games were fun back in the day.
Yeah. But like even when he would interview, like he was on social media, he was like, it's just.
He had the J's on the side.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I mean, so. I don't know. What
if
that
there's
means.
a looser field, that sounds like a great time in New Orleans on Sunday to me.
No doubt.
But it never felt tight to me.
I mean,
That's my point.
I'm with you.
That's literally the point.
I never thought that either, but that's what he said. And he said that's what he says. He felt like this was much needed in the building.
Okay, well, Sean Payton probably felt a little bit. You'd have to think those last couple of years with the end of the Drew Brees era was coming.
That happened with Miami.
In Miami, like wanted to.
I would just imagine though, like when you're somewhere for 15 years, the message does get stale, whether you want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
And so to be
with
able
the
to
same guy.
That's my point. So to be able to keep, quote unquote, that same level of expectation or same level of success, like you have to kind of be a little more like stricter about things because it does get stale, especially when you have the same guys in the building.
For sure. I think I answered your question or our question about the draft. I think the draft pick's gone. I think you're right.
For the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Did the owner get fined $1 million or something?
Million and a half.
And the owner got
And they lost the first round pick.
I saw first round
So,
pick
like,
and second round pick, right?
First and third. But I thought, I was like, how does that happen? That means that there's only 31 picks in the first round that year, and yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, so
They
there's
don't have
one less first rounder.
So it screws them and benefits everybody else. Everybody moves up one.
Yeah, and it screws
Well,
that extra player that would have got.
But yeah, but
drafted in the first
there's
round.
one less first rounder than now. So whoever that person's gonna be is not the thing.
Draft, you just remove it.
Yeah.
Moves up.
I think. I mean, I can't imagine them giving the pick back to the team that.
I mean, who they gonna give it to? Like they can't just give it to someone.
Give it to the Saints.
How about they go one?
Yeah.
But they go one.
That's what they should have done.
That's what I'm
They go 1
saying.
in 15 this year to get the first pick in the draft, and next year it says you don't have the first pick.
No, they already picked the pick. The Dolphins had like 2 or 3 first rounders based off the trades they made.
But what if they didn't?
Then they would lose that pick.
It's the season before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was that pick. I think they already picked announced.
I think that's how it would happen. It'd be, I mean,
unless
think of the
it
percentage
said,
chance of that actually happening, but yeah.
unless it was the highest.
That's an expensive mistake.
That is an expensive
The
mistake.
1.5 is nothing. Like,
Nothing.
That's just nothing.
Not to a billionaire.
That's like the
No.
Bengals couldn't
No.
draft Joe because like their first round pick got
Yeah, but
Wow.
but like, hey, wait, time out. You say it that way, and it sounds crazy, but let's be honest. Like, how many Joes have come out? How many first round busts? How many number one overall
but
pick busts?
I know,
So
but
no, it sounds
I'm sure
like,
they
oh
would
my God,
love
this is
C.J.
huge.
Stroud.
I would like
Bryce
to.
Young.
It's a huge roll of the dice that you want, but that doesn't necessarily mean that
they would love the chance to mess up the first round.
everybody would. No, I
mean,
agree.
you can't.
But
say,
we're not. But we can't just put a Joe Burrow price on it. Like as if that's what
That's
you
the
get
first.
every time
That's
you
the
get
number
first
one overall
overall
pick.
pick.
It's the first overall pick.
It doesn't matter what pick you have. I'm saying we can't just put a price tag on it as everyone that's a success, that's a first round pick. That's who
Oh,
you're.
yeah.
No doubt, but I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't
his whole
roll it
point
like
was
that.
if it's the first overall. If it's the first overall pick, like I don't care if it's a bust or not. You lose the first overall pick, that's gonna stink. You know what I mean? Like there's not many times you get the first overall.
Can't get
pick.
You
much
lose
better.
the first round pick, it stinks.
Right.
Yeah.
First
It doesn't
overall pick,
really matter.
brutal.
Your first pick, it stinks.
That
Brutal.
could be program changing.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Franchise changing.
I mean,
No doubt.
look at the Bengals. I mean,
Yeah,
literally
for
changed
sure.
the culture there after one.
I mean, change it too. They got an indoor facility getting
I think
built.
what
First
changed
time ever.
No, I think what changed the Bengals program is the owner. He finally loosened up a little bit.
Well, because he's like he had to, because he's like, God damn it, we're winning. What the hell? I was catching this check every year,
Are you out?
and I didn't have to do anything.
Going to work? Going to work.
Double work.
Get some good quotes.
Get some info so we can bet this win.
Yeah. Give us some more inside info so we can make some good bets on our Caesar app using MMLSU 15. Let's run through it. Let's run through it.
What, the schedule?
Yeah.
Yeah, go through it.
Okay.
LSU, Florida State.
I got a dub.
We're going lines, right?
No, I'm saying let's
I got a
the
W.
win total.
Okay,
got
let's
a
go
W.
win total, but give me the lines too on every game that they have.
Before we do that, do you think that this win total changes depending on who's announced the starting quarterback, or it's set in
I think
stone?
that I don't think any of these lines like later on in the year are going to change until they play Mississippi State. After that Mississippi State game, based off how they've shown out, then some things will change a little
Week
bit.
3, huh?
I don't think quarterback changes the win total. It wouldn't have one other if it did.
True.
The win total wouldn't be if it was that much of a factor.
All right, Florida State's what, 3 points?
3 points.
LSU's favored by 3.
Yep.
I think that's a win.
I gotta win.
I know you
You
don't.
and every other LSU fan does.
No, I got to win.
I think if
It's not a win, then that 6.5 is
I'm gonna
very
be
much.
less,
It's very much in
biased
question.
than I was the last time I did
No.
this. So
I would agree. I mean, I think we'll be way more prepared
for
for this game than we were for. We look like
no doubt.
I'll just say it this way.
No doubt.
They looked awful at
terrible.
times last
that was
year.
not an LSU football team.
And they went 6-7. So
Right.
it's hard for me to sit on a 6-game season again, 6-win season again.
So we got
LSU
a win against
LSU
Florida-
wins
we got
but
a
doesn't
win against
cover.
Florida State.
Huh?
LSU wins but doesn't cover.
Win. I don't care. Just give me a win.
God,
Yeah.
was getting Line 3.
I know.
Win but no cover.
I know.
Who are you over here?
I'm gonna.
He's gonna buy points and it's not gonna.
I was about to say I'm gonna tease it. I'm gonna
download the Caesars app for sure. Lloyd.
I'm gonna tease. I know. I'm two-team teaser.
They love you.
I'm gonna tease it and put the under in.
They may charge you no juice.
Yeah. You don't want LSU at 9.5?
Jesus Christ.
LSU Southern.
So it's 2-0.
Mississippi State.
I think it's a win. I really don't. I don't trust.
I'm gonna go
3-0.
New Mexico.
Win 4-0.
So if they go first 4 games, they go 4-0. 6.5 bet looks all right. So LSU at Auburn. Starting quarterback got arrested last week for Auburn.
He did. TJ Finley and the coaching staff.
Would he be the starter probably?
No, it's gonna be Calzada.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think they're in more of a mess than LSU.
I'm giving it.
So let's just do this.
I'm going 5-0. I'm at 5-0 right now.
Okay, just to be conservative.
No, let's just keep going through. We'll see what we get. We'll come up with. I got 5-0 right now.
You go. This is when you do best case, worst case.
Yeah,
right.
I got 5-0 right now.
We'll win 1 in Mississippi State. So I got 1, 2, 3. I got us 3-1. Auburn, I got a loss. So 3-2.
Wait. Oh, what do you have 3-1? You have us losing Mississippi State and Auburn.
We're gonna beat Florida State, or Mississippi State and lose one another one. We're gonna win 1 and 2.
So you have us 3-2 after Auburn.
After Auburn, I got us 3-2.
Wow.
I got us 5-0 right now. Go ahead.
Me too, but go ahead.
5-0, 3-2. Lloyd.
I'm 3-2 with
you 3-2.
Yeah, Lloyd's very pessimistic.
All right. Tennessee comes to town. LSU, Tennessee.
Who's after that?
Let's see if we can
Just
find.
by the
Let's
way,
see if we
who's
can find a line on that future line.
Yeah. I mean, I like. Listen. I mean, if you're thinking that they're gonna lose between Mississippi State or Florida State and all, I don't think
it might be Florida State and Tennessee might be the better call of which one is more of a toss-up.
There's 2 future lines on here. They got an LSU A&M line and an LSU Alabama line.
That's it.
For the future games.
Yeah. I think Tennessee coming to LSU. I think Tennessee wins. I think LSU wins.
LSU, yeah.
I'll give you the Auburn game. I'll give you one of the Mississippi
Tennessee
State. I just don't think Auburn's in a good enough position right now to beat LSU. That's why I don't think.
Ole Miss after
No,
that. I think Auburn's too much of a mess. I think I think their head coach is a mess.
Who's the head coach of Tennessee now?
Heupel?
Josh Heupel. Yeah.
And they have an offense.
How many to return?
The quarterback's back.
The quarterback's back. He was pretty
that's
solid.
Yeah, that's big.
But they're playing at LSU.
Okay.
I'll
go win here. I'll go win here.
I'm gonna go win.
I'll give it 5-1 right now.
I'm gonna go win, and I'm at 6-0. But I could easily see this being a loss but I'm saying win because of the next 2 weeks.
It's gonna be a night game. Okay, so I
gotta
win.
Right.
You got 6-0. I'll go 5-1. I think that's a win. I'll say Mississippi State or Auburn. One of those is gonna be a loss. So
I'm 4-2.
I'm there with you. I don't think they lose back-to-back games, especially playing at home.
Okay,
I don't think they lose. Okay, go ahead.
Next week we going to see Napier.
I got the loss.
So you have the loss there. See, I got a
loss.
I got a loss
in the swamp. Been there.
So the reason why I'm saying this too. So here's why I got this. I got 5-0. You get to Tennessee at home. It's a big game, right? Tennessee at that point is probably going to be 4-1 at worst.
If y'all think we're gonna be 5-0, y'all should jump on. LSU is 90-1 to win it.
Wait, so here's
the whole thing.
Yeah.
No,
here's what I got. I got.
He thinks you're gonna lose 7 games. He's still betting on
it. Yeah, you go whenever if we're 5-0, 6-0, be like I never bet LSU.
No,
I got them coming home to play Tennessee.
It can happen.
Huge game, they win, and then I think they struggle.
Here's why I think that. I'm not so sure that we lose to Florida at Florida. It's because as much as I do like Napier as a coach.
I know who's the biggest homer in LSU sports and football.
Sports period.
It's unbelievable.
The most optimistic sports fan there is.
Can I finish this? You're undefeated. I have a loss already.
I'm telling you where I got. This 3-week stretch is.
You didn't even let me explain why I think that we could beat Florida.
I'm just telling you. We know you're a homer. It's okay.
I think Florida is in a worse position than
LSU is.
People think. Like, they don't have a lot of guys on that team that are good.
There.
Mm-hmm. I understand that. We had to go there miserable. 2 years ago when we stunk and hit a ball in the fog and beat them. Like, we were awful when we beat them at Florida.
You still got to go there.
When the guy threw the shoe.
When they got through the
I'm just telling you, and I'll tell you from experience, they were good, obviously, really, really good at the time. That is besides playing at LSU, that is the loudest place I've ever been.
It's unbelievable.
It is
I'm not disagreeing with that.
It is a mess.
I agree with you.
And they don't like us.
I think we're giving Napier
like
and those guys a little bit too much credit. That's all I'm thinking. That's all I'm saying.
I think we're giving Tennessee too much credit. Which is
I agree with that. I agree with that too.
All right, so what we got in Florida?
I have one loss.
I got a loss.
Lloyd?
I think LSU beats Florida. Just because we're in a similar spot, but LSU has more talent.
I agree. That's my whole point.
And at this point in the season,
I'm not saying by no means do I think LSU is going undefeated the rest of the year.
And I haven't. And once again, I have it that way because I said this is the 3-week stretch where I think it's different. So they could easily lose the Tennessee game and then beat Florida, and then I think they lose again the next week. But I think if they beat Tennessee, I think it becomes 2 weeks in a row where it's a little underwhelming.
And I think everything's going to become a lot clearer what LSU is trying to do on offense. Like, it's going to take some times where they're not actually at 100% because how can you be? By the time they hit this stretch, they'll be like, all right, we know what our identity is on offense. We know what we're doing on defense. Now let's let the players play. And they're more talented than Florida. A lot of people, and listen, we don't know what's going to happen. I think a lot of people have the last 2 years in their mouth, and it's not even going to be close to what the last 2 years were, right? So
I agree with that.
That is very hard to get over because last 2 years were so miserable. This is completely you can't look at the last 2 years and say that's what LSU is because
we're going to compete. I'm just not sure we're going to win.
You're not going to win.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Listen, I have one loss right now. Let's keep going.
I'm 4-3.
Right
at that game.
That's fine.
All right. Ole Miss comes to town.
I think we lose to Ole Miss.
I got a loss.
I got a win.
I got a loss.
Oh, LSU beats Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
He doesn't like. I don't think he likes his quarterback.
What I don't like is everything that I say he agrees, and he might be the worst gambler.
So I think that
Long Beach State.
They're not going to beat both. They're not going to beat both. They're not going to beat both Mississippi schools. One of those schools are going to be a loss. So I'm going to give that a loss.
5-3-2.
So I got 3. I got 2.
That's what you're banking us on, that we can't sweep Mississippi.
5-3.
No, I just don't think that we're going to win both those games.
I got us 5-3 going to next
just
week.
Offensively, I think one of those teams are going to beat us with the secondary.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right.
I got a 6-2 right here.
Me too.
First weekend in November.
Yeah, loss.
Alabama comes to town. All right. This is one of the games that the future line is already out. It's actually changed since yesterday when I looked. What do you think the line is? Don't look like
I didn't look.
What do you think the LSU Alabama line is?
Were you here when we said earlier?
No, he wasn't here.
Okay.
LSU Alabama in Tiger Stadium. What's the line?
The over-under in it?
No, just the
the spread?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's probably 10.5.
That's what I said. Not right. More.
Lloyd's actually sharper than I thought. 17.
Woo! Oh, 17 went down a half point.
Went down. LSU's
I was thinking double digits for sure.
I said 10.5 too.
What was it
17.
last year? 24.
We almost won that game last
I
year.
know.
We covered.
Yeah, we should have dabbed.
Everybody
17.
bet.
17 or 17 and a
Everybody bet that we would not cover. That Alabama would cover. And
LSU money line. Watch
LSU,
out.
you did? Of course you took.
almost
Of
nabbed
course.
it. I don't even think they had a money line out on LSU for that game. I think they were like, this could be a debacle.
So that's 3 losses now.
All right, so I had us 5-3, so I'm 5-4 there.
And I have us 6-3.
5-4, and people are going fucking bananas right now.
I have 6-3.
We go to Arkansas next week.
See,
that
one scares me the most.
They're in shambles, but after Alabama comes in here and
that one scares me the most. That's why I think that like if LSU has to get past Ole Miss,
this is a big game. LSU Arkansas is a big game on the win total schedule.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a tough game.
Florida State, Arkansas, probably the 2 biggest.
I think that Arkansas, I'm gonna say we win that game. It's gonna be very close. Like if LSU's favored by, it's gonna be close. I think LSU wins that one because they have to.
I say win.
Is it at home or away?
So I'm at 7-3 right now.
I'm at 5-4 going to an Arkansas game.
Are they playing at Arkansas?
At Arkansas.
That doesn't matter really.
I'm at 7-3.
It's a big game. The next one's a cupcake. It's a W. We play UAB. I say that. I mean, we've lost to them before.
8-3.
Should be, right?
Yeah.
8-3.
Nick Saban.
So you had 8-3, so you should definitely bet over 6.5.
So
I'm going to be on the number. The last game of the year is at A&M,
I know,
which they also have that line out as well.
I have that as a loss.
What is it?
What's your guess?
I hate to say that, I know, but I do.
At A&M.
7.5.
7.5. Line 7.5.
I have that as a loss.
You like that? Well, you like that?
That's in the hook.
So here's
LSU's
my
catching
That
points,
Mr. Sharp over here, huh?
Here's my thing.
Is LSU catching?
I got the loss too on that one.
Lost in a cover.
So I'd be 8-4.
I'd be 8-4.
Now, if you go and you beat Ole Miss, like I think that we can. I don't know if we are. I think that we can. I'm only scared about the the offense. I'm scared about the secondary. Now, this can change after this third week of the season. Like, damn, our secondary is a lot tighter than I thought they were going to be. I think 9-3 is a realistic number. I think 10-2 is a pipe dream. That would be amazing.
I think a 10-win season before you get to a bowl game is what?
I would be
yeah.
ecstatic. I think 9-3 is realistic. I think 8-4 is going to be the number.
I think it's possible. I just think it's way. It will literally exceed all expectations for the year.
Even if we win the Florida State game, I think watching the game and how we play, what we do,
100%,
how we execute, how the game plays out,
no doubt,
that could change. We come back in here and be like, "Oh, bro, that was a loss earlier. That's a win now."
Yep,
like,
no doubt.
That first game is going to be the determining
So
factor.
I had him to start. I thought for sure. I was like, looking at the schedule, what I think about it, I think they're in the 8 to 10 range, closer to 8 than 10.
Yeah.
Could possibly get. I think it's realistic for them to get to 10 with a bowl game.
Me too.
With the bowl game.
But here's
so I think it's really 8 or 9 that you're looking at. But I definitely think it's the over.
Here's my thing. You put a good showing against Florida State, and you win. You get past that, right? And you go and play against Mississippi State. That's going to be the first challenge you have as a secondary, right? Because of the way Mike Leach runs his offense and the way they have all these crossing routes. And
I forgot about Leach.
And that's what's
going to be some pressure.
Now here's
I'll tell you this, and I'll just talk about this really quick. I get it. Leach is very good offensively. I just know traditionally, if you can play organized football,
right?
That school can't attract enough to get.
Sure,
that's my. Smart. He's going to slow the game down.
And that's why Mississippi State doesn't scare me.
I know, but the only reason I'm not saying it's because of scheme. I'm saying it because it's the Jimmys and Joes in the secondary. I don't know anything about our secondary yet because it's.
I don't either, but I know. I would imagine that we got a group of better than their group.
I agree,
receivers.
and you can say the same thing about Ole Miss. I just want to see it, so once I see it, I'll feel more confident saying, okay, we're going to beat Ole Miss because I believe that our front seven is going to be just as good as any front seven in the country. The back end of that, I'm not so sure because I just don't know yet. Now,
well, then you're not. That's not. We've talked about this already. If you believe our front seven's that good, then our secondary is going to be fine.
Yeah.
Right, but
we don't need Patrick Peterson out there if we have that front seven.
But the offense that they run in Mississippi State, you don't have time to get to the guy. They get the ball out too quick. Now it's short passes, so it may not even matter because they may not be able to have separation and get open.
They put so much pressure on the defense. But you're not going to be able to get to the quarterback in time because it's not.
Getting to him, hitting him and sacking him is completely different.
I understand that, but I'm going based off. It's literally in out. It's all West Coast dink and dunk. Throw the ball 85 times at 5 yards down the field.
So once again, and that's why I said I feel like when you play organized assignment football, which is what a organized coach brings to stuff.
I agree.
I don't think that.
I agree. And that's why I think we're going to.
Because I don't think they're Jimmys and Joes top to bottom.
I agree. That's why I think we're going to beat Mississippi. That's why I want to see it. I just want to That's something I want to see. I think that we do beat them. I think that you can be. We went 6-7 last year with one of the worst teams LSU's probably ever had, organized wise, coached wise. You can have the well-coached team and win 7 games with the talent that you have at LSU. That's why with Brian Kelly, I believe that. I think 8 is the number. I think that you go there and you get hot and you have the guys start figuring some stuff out. You couldn't get to 10. I'm not saying 10 in the regular season, but you can get to 10 wins for the season. You can go 10-3 like you did with Joe's first year at LSU.
So I had 8-4. You had 8-4. You had what?
I'm going to be close to the 7, 7.5, 8 number. I
think
really, the first game determines everything.
Yeah. I think Florida State determines Florida State or Arkansas. You got to win one of those two to be able to have a shot.
If Florida State wins the first game, the next Friday he's not going to have a show and he's not going to be talking on the show. win. You know what I'm saying?
I'll just say this: if you had the same line this year and we go into the LSU Oregon game last year, or UCLA game last year, and that result happens, I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't think we're going to hit this over.
No doubt.
This is not good.
No doubt. And that's the problem. The problem is, the problem with that was you had 19. It was such a good year. Obviously, you had Joe and all those guys. And you had COVID. So everybody kept making the excuses of COVID. So you wanted to believe that it was going to be like 19 because you believed that was what O was going to do. We gave O too much credit. We didn't give Joe, I don't think, enough credit of how good he was as far as basically running the team, not talent, running the team.
He was organizing his own practices.
Was that?
He was organizing his own
That's
practices.
my point.
Well,
Yeah.
I realized it too when he got to the NFL.
Right. But the 2021 season, we thought, okay, with COVID, everybody got out of COVID, all these guys back, Stanley's back, all these guys, and then you're like, well, no, because our coach stinks, and our coach doesn't know how to organize a practice, and our coach doesn't know how to keep anything in order, and it's a mess. And we didn't realize how much of a mess it was until after that first game. And like, yeah, of course, I thought we were going to win. I think everybody thought we were going to win.
Absolutely.
But then
You're also every year,
and you were also going
right now.
That's the nature of football.
But you were also going from Baton Rouge to UCLA. This year you're going from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Don't roll your eyes like that's an issue. That's not an issue.
I don't think
it's not an issue. I'm being honest with you.
If you have a coach who doesn't know how to keep a team up,
that's
my point.
Okay,
that's
different.
Point.
Yeah, I'm about to say
he's
for first game of the season.
That's my
first game of the season. If you have a coach, that's not an issue to me.
No, but that's my point. You didn't have a coach,
but we didn't know that.
We kind of knew it. We didn't want to.
We
believe
didn't know it. Not like it was last year. Last year was a different level.
You didn't want to believe it.
I got a question for you. I know my answer. Would you trade 2019
for
where our program is coming into this year?
No.
You?
Yes. Anytime you can get a national championship, you absolutely go take it.
No, so you wouldn't trade.
Would you trade the 19 natty and what we did for like how bad our program is
10-win
right now?
seasons?
I would not trade that. I want the 19 natty. Is what I'm saying. I want the 19.
I wouldn't trade it, but I also wouldn't say it was the funnest year ever. Wait. Time out. Listen.
This bar had a
No. I'll just say this. I'm only saying that in the sense of I've seen this place when we were weeks, 9 through 12 of the season, I've seen this place when the expectation was that from week 1.
Absolutely.
So that to me is different than what it was. Because as it kept happening in 19, you were like, holy shit, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like people didn't notice it until
expecting it.
You didn't believe it for real until they beat Alabama, and you're like, "Oh fuck, this is real." That's when it got real. Yeah. I've seen this place when it was kicking off the first game of the season, and that was the expectation. I've seen this when it was week 3, Virginia Tech came here, and it was that.
Yep.
So that to me, that's the only reason why I'm saying.
I think the turning point in 19. I know we're going forward back. I was actually sitting in here watching it. Was at Texas on the 3rd and 20.
Third and
17.
17. When he hit him on a slant,
and it was great, but
he just
sent
it to the house.
I agree.
You finally saw a guy. Then we have a quarterback who can make the throw when he needs to throw and be the guy.
Well, not only that,
but here's the thing, and I agree too, because you're like, oh shit, we look different. But I didn't believe in Texas then.
No.
So then that's why I was like, it's still Texas right now. If this was Texas then,
for sure. But I was looking more about what we did, not about who we played.
I remember seeing that. I'm like,
holy shit. You know what I mean?
We putting up points right now. Like, this is different.
See, that's what I would say. I would say after what was it, Georgia State in the first game of the year, I was like, LSU has a chance to win everything, like win it all because of how different the offense looked, and you're like, if they're going to do this every game, they have a legitimate shot because they have athletes
and that's when
everywhere.
I saw it in Texas. It wasn't about who we're playing. It was about how we did it and the different scheme that we've had that we have not seen. I was like, and we had a quarterback that could
manage it.
Right? And I was like, okay. And at the time, you still didn't know how good Joe was. Like, you knew he was good.
100%, absolutely.
You just didn't know how good Joe was. And you saw him make this throws. I'm like, damn, he's got a little something else. And you're like, okay, we haven't seen this for a really long time. I think that we have a really good shot, and then obviously
what you mean really long? It never saw. It's never happened the way that they did it.
No doubt, but when you had guys that could make throws that I probably hadn't seen a guy that could make those throws in a clutch moment since probably Flynn, right?
I agree, but they did it at a level that was literally.
Oh, no doubt. But this was at Texas, right? Like this is the second game of the season, and then you watch it go, and you watch it go, and you watch it go, and you're like, okay, like we're. And you play, even when we played Auburn and won by 3 points, it didn't feel like it felt like it was way bigger game, like way more of a deficit.
It brings me back to thoughts of like, I can remember when we went down to Arizona State and Jamarcus rolls out and throws it early in the back of the end zone.
Across his body, rolling out across his body.
So my point to it was at the beginning of the year, and you still kind of think. And you still think like we're really good, but like
too early, right in the corner.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So like that's where the Texas thing for me was kind of.
It's no good.
No good.
Yeah.
That's where the Texas thing for me was kind of like I don't know. It's Texas. They've been down. They've been down.
Right, but you still had to do it. You know what I mean? Like
it looks no. Yeah. It felt great.
Right,
but you still wanted to see it against where
it didn't sell me, but it showed me that okay,
you can win a tight one.
This is different
19 was great. I just think like. What we saw in 19, had you believe that that's what you were going to get from week
one?
It
was so far back. It
would have been.
Also, and the problem is you don't have the offensive score is gone after that year. Like, you only have 1 year is gone, so you didn't have another year of like having another quarterback.
Not just Joe, though. Look at the dudes he had around him.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Bro, Clyde.
You had everything.
Killing
Yeah, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. Clyde wasn't supposed to be that good. Nobody. The question mark going into the season was who was going to be our running back.
They split carries the entire first game.
I know they didn't know who our running back was going to be until Clyde said, "Oh, I'm going to rush for 1,200 yards and be a really good running back."
It was Clyde, TDP, and John Emery. They got like 15 carries, 10 carries, and 8 carries.
I know. They just didn't know.
He scored in an Alabama game.
I know.
Oh my God.
I know. It's fun. So look, it's all good times. It's going to be, regardless of how many games we think we're going to win or not, like we don't really know. It's just going to be more exciting than it's been the last 2 years, at least anticipation-wise going into the year, right? And that's all you can ask for is to be able to go out and tailgate and have a good time and have a little bit of buzz. And last year, after that first game at UCLA, there was zero buzz.
Well,
it was dead.
It was
not fun.
And that's the thing too. I think where this place is now, and where it's been for a while, talent-wise, as far as for being able to get players in here, anything that gets you to an 8-win season, for the most part, keeps buzz here all year. What you had here the last 2 years was just like,
and
yo,
look,
this ain't it.
You've seen it a million times in sports. A team wins 1, wins 2, wins 3, and they look up like, damn, we're 3-0. Wins 4, oh, damn, we're 4-0. Like, once you get to those, start chalking up these wins, like, that's a dangerous place to be for other teams to come and play you because, hey, oh, shit, we're winning. Like, we're better than people think, and they start getting confidence.
Players are buying into new coaches, and that's why I think
this guy, I think he's the correct hire for sure. He brought Notre Dame to the Natty multiple times at a school where it's really hard to get really good players.
Yes.
If they lower their standards, I mean, that school has as much money as anybody, right?
Yep.
I think it's just me being a sports fan. Like, when BK got here, to see the talent that he can go recruit to never have to leave Louisiana and look at the talent that he gets to go recruit in Louisiana versus being at Notre Dame and where he had to go recruit players from.
Yep.
So that was kind of my next question. How long does it take BK to get us back to where we are used to being?
So
what year?
I think with the portal, having the portal helps, right? Like,
absolutely.
Like,
without the portal, we don't have.
100%.
LSU doesn't have a football team.
Without a portal, we're not the over/under 5 wins.
Without a portal, you don't get 2019.
100%.
No doubt.
No
doubt. But like with the portal right now, I think that like he is able to make a team compete.
Transfer.
Yeah, he was a grad transfer. He wasn't a portal guy.
Yeah,
the portal guy had happened in 2020. Yeah. But without like. Right now, having the portal allows LSU to compete to be, hey, you know what? Maybe we do win 10 games. I don't think we are, but maybe we do because of the portal. The only reason we are able to maybe have that possibility is because he brought in all these guys who are really good at other schools, come in here and have an offensive line that is good, right? I think, to answer your question, I think that it was not – I'm not saying win a national championship.
No, like I'm just talking like
in the
conversation. I would
to get this program where back.
I would say 3 years.
3 or under.
His third year,
3 or under.
His second year next year is gonna be like, okay, now we have a little bit of momentum. His third year, like people are gonna be like, oh, preseason top 10.
Hey, 3 or under.
Right.
I alluded to it already.
I've already pulled it up. I've been having this game circled for a year and a half now. LSU opens with USC
in Las Vegas.
We're going.
That sounds.
We're in there. Hey, I'll get Airbnb right now.
Hey, I've already said it, bro.
That's
3 or under, because like I said, I've alluded to it already. The way this place is right now, the facilities you have,
what they're doing in the training room right now,
everything, the staff you have, how it is to be able to recruit and get guys in here. All you gotta do is work your butt off, and this place becomes
absolutely
top 10 place in it.
Hey, listen, dude.
That doesn't mean you win the national championship, but that means you're in the contention. You're in the talk.
Brian Kelly didn't come here after a
3 years or more.
Three
on his third year. He's gonna be in contention.
I said 3 under. 3 or under.
Listen, Brian Kelly didn't leave a cush situation at Notre Dame where he can win 11 games every year in the not even conference, in the team that he's with. He didn't leave there to come to LSU and put himself in the middle of a shitstorm to not have visions of national championships, which means he's going to do everything he needs to do and the necessary moves he needs to make to go and put himself in that position, right? Like, we talk about the coaching staff. We've talked about all these changes. Like, I like the guys he's brought in. I like the new blood, because he brought in some LSU
total
guys.
regime change.
Exactly. We needed something like that, right? And we're talking about recruits, and we're talking about guys. We have a guy tomorrow who is going to make his commitment. He's a 5-star receiver out of Baton Rouge. He's probably coming to LSU. I mean,
he would be an all-time heel turn.
I mean, if he says, hey, I'm going to make my decision on the Jordy Culotta show and says I'm not coming to LSU, that is an all-time, like...
Vince McMahon will hire him to be the
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt, right? Like,
Vince McMahon ain't hiring
he's
nobody.
going now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Vince McMahon is somewhere out. He's in his beach house somewhere on some island that he ain't doing nothing, right? But he's going to commit. He's going to commit to LSU tomorrow. I think there's a few more guys down the line, right? People are complaining or panicking because some of these LSU guys have committed to other schools. And what did we say when that happened? Like, hey, there's a lot of time before they have to sign on the dotted line, right? Like, there's some chance.
Lloyd definitely said this.
Yeah, Lloyd was thinking that Brian Kelly wasn't able to recruit in Louisiana because he was losing these guys to commitments.
Dude, listen to me. He's got one person on staff that's all that matters in Louisiana. Frank Wilson.
Yeah, but his point is that Frank isn't in New Orleans right now.
He's trying to hold his tongue right now.
Yeah,
too. Look at him.
say it. Come on, say it.
I'm just saying that I think it took him a little while to acclimate to what the culture is. I mean, you saw he kind of outed himself in the beginning when he talked about Harold Perkins. He's like, oh, he's different. It's like, yeah, bud, that's the guys you got in Louisiana that you have to go get. But he didn't. I think once he sees it, he's going to be like, okay, but I totally understand why there needs to be an importance placed on Louisiana. They're different cats, dude.
Hey, is that not what we said? Hey, he's going to figure it out. Like, give him some time to see it and make the adjustments.
You go back and look at all of our rosters, even from like 2005, 6. Go back and look at the players, and they're all from Louisiana.
No doubt. And you mixed in some superstars.
Absolutely. But you got to go get other people.
But here's my thing. He knows that. Give him some time. These guys that are committing from in-state to go somewhere out of state, they want to be here. Deep down, they know they want to be at LSU, right?
Hey,
and give him some time to realize how, to make his move. And until they sign, they are still, in my head, have the ability to come to LSU. And I think that you're going to see some of these guys that have committed flip it and come back.
That's where you get into the very boring conversation of name, image, and likeness, and how if you're late to the game, they've already kind of.
Nope.
I don't even think it's a late. I don't think it's a late to. But Lloyd, I don't think it's a late to the game. I just don't think when it comes to, especially recruiting the top 100, you don't necessarily have to be first. But what you can't really bank on anymore is that I want to come here just because it's LSU.
Right.
That's out of the window.
Yeah, it doesn't work anymore.
No, the new legislation that the Louisiana passed is going to help LSU a lot.
No doubt.
And it already has. Right? And no, it's not football, right? But I was getting phone calls from people in the baseball world. Hey, what the fuck are y'all doing? How are y'all getting all these people? What are y'all doing? We're obviously doing something in the – you think that Jay Johnson's the only person that knows how to be able to give money to these top recruits that are going – and it's a smaller scale, but you're still competing with the same teams in the SEC that are still able to pay all these guys money to go somewhere else, right? So – you think Jay Johnson's the only guy here that knows how to do that? No. Brian Kelly knows how to do that. And the fact that now the school is able to help them do that is going to help. I think that you're going to start seeing these guys who think that getting money from I think some of these guys are going to come back and they're going to change their commitment. That's all I'm saying. I've said that from the beginning. Give him some time to figure out how to switch these guys, and they will. I'm just saying. He knows that he needs to get these guys here. And not only do you have Frank Wilson, you have
Cortez Hankton.
Yes, Cortez Hankton too. Like, you have guys from Louisiana that are.
But we're talking about LSU. I don't really think that just applies to LSU. I don't know for sure, but I'm imagining if you go look at national championship winners year in and year out, the majority, it doesn't matter where these schools are, the majority of those kids on that team are from
Louisiana.
And it doesn't mean that it's if their best player is from the, but it just means more. It's just a thing. For sure. So I think but listen. When you go coach at Notre Dame, that can't be a thing.
Yeah, you don't have that. Unless you're offensive lineman.
Yeah. I mean, NIL changed. Like back in the day, you probably had on the roster 80% of the kids were playing for Hart in their school, and 20% of them will get, now they're not going, all right, I can go play football here and make X amount, or I can go play for my home school. I really want to go and only make this amount,
right.
I mean, it changes everything.
Yep,
Yeah.
no doubt.
So I don't think you have to be first in the recruiting ranking anymore. But you can't recruit off of this anymore.
I think that we're underestimating how much we can compete right now. Now that they've changed the ability to now that you have to focus just on a collective. I think that we're underestimating how much the ability that we have to compete now.
They played it. Yeah, I would say that LSU played it very safe. They didn't really understand what
that it's
the
the Wild Wild
scope
West
of it was. Right, that you could be like, oh, we just cut checks, because when you look back at how LSU started,
LSU couldn't cut checks at the time. Now they can. I mean, now you have the ability to, by law, to not to be able to do it without.
No, but they took name, image, and likeness very literally. They're like, oh, let's take advantage of the people that are already famous here and boost up their name, image, and likeness. When A&M was like, bro, we're going to get the high school kids.
But here's the deal: they had to do that. LSU had to do that.
You didn't have to. You didn't.
Yeah, they were not going to be here anymore.
Yeah, you did.
They were all leaving.
Yeah, you did.
You had to go and re-recruit the guys you were there. That have done stuff.
I would say it even ties in more with the transfer portal, because they were so focused on rebuilding the roster, they couldn't focus on recruiting in the first year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like you had to go get other kids.
But that was part of our argument. Was like they had the job that the new staff had to do is different than any of these other SEC teams that had to do.
It was crisis management.
They had half a roster.
Florida and LSU had to do the same thing.
Right. They had half a roster, so they had to go and fill out. Brian Kelly came in here to win now. So he had to go and fill out a roster that was going to be competitive now, right? And that meant you had to go get guys that he could plug in, and you had to go be strategic with some of your recruits, and then you had to focus on the guys that are going to play now, and then have to go and try to reel in some of the recruits in the back end. And that's what he's been trying to do, and I think he's done a really good job of managing that. And then the next year, he's going to be able to go, okay, now we can rely a lot more on the high school recruits than just having to go get all these portal guys. And so he had the staff had a way different job than any other.
Yeah, just what was priority was
which
different.
I agree with what the priority was. To me, the priority was, hey, you have to fill out your roster of 85 guys that can compete. You had 39 guys in the bowl game.
I will say this. I'm going to be interested to see.
That being said, though, without the portal, the other guys couldn't have left. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's
No, that's my point, though.
Yeah. You got to go get them. You
have to re-recruit the guys to stay here so they don't leave, and you have to go bring the portal guys in there so they can play now, and then you have to go and try to mix in the recruits and still have the quality of guys that come in.
Something's got to be done with the portal. Like I've become friends with some coaches. They won't even. It's easier for them to go to the portal and go get a kid in the portal because the kid's already been to school. He knows how to weight lift. He knows how to go to class.
I was literally just about to say. So I'm interested to see in the future. Because much like on the baseball side, dude, like, listen, what do you want? Let's just say, and it doesn't mean anything to what he's going to be in the future.
100%.
Right? But let's just say you had to play Walker Howard right now, or you can play Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Which one you taking?
I'm taking Jaden Daniels.
I'm taking the experience every day.
Absolutely.
So with this place being what it is, I'm interested to see in the future how active they still are in the portal. Because this is LSU at the end of the day. And if you show that this place is going to be a 8, 9, 10 game winner every year, it becomes the hot spot again.
No doubt. And I think that they will be active. I don't think they'll be as active. I think the portal, they're going to make some changes.
But when you recruit a high school senior, you got to recruit him twice. You recruit him to come to campus, and then he gets here, and then he's not happy the first year, and he kind of wants to leave, and you got to re-recruit him. Like, all these coaches are going to get these kids in the portal and recruiting less high. I mean, obviously the 5 stars you got to go recruit them, right? But it's less to say, wait, I can go get this kid who's a senior or this kid who's in the portal. He already knows how to go to class, weight lift, knows the college process. Right. I'm going to get him.
No, I get that.
And it puts more pressure on these kids in the sense of like let's say at the end of the day, you're going to have 25. Like you're going to sign 25 pretty much every year, right? Like that's just kind of what's going to happen, right? But if you come in as that top recruit, in a way, it kind of puts pressure on the program because if that kid comes in, he doesn't hit the ground with his feet, running already. He might want out, man.
Exactly.
And that's why the portal is what it is.
The portal kid, once he gets here, he really can't leave again unless he wants to sit out. Nobody wants to sit out for a year.
100%. And I think, like for me, like if it was up to the coaches, if they said, okay, do I want to go get a guy, a senior, a junior, to transfer in and play for a senior year, or do I want to go get a high-profile high school guy to come in here and play for 3 years? Like, obviously, he's going to take the high school kid, right? But it's a lot harder to go and say, get this kid because it's harder to project. I think that you're going to, over time, you're going to see the high school recruits are still going to be priority, but you're going to fill in more with the portal guys because at the end of the day, you sustain a team and a program by having the younger guys and have them for multiple years, right? You can't sustain a very successful program by just getting transfer guys in for 1 year at a time. You just can't sustain. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable at all. And I think these coaches know that. And I think that the portal, and I've said this, and I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. I think the portal is going to self-regulate itself in a way, not completely, because some of these kids are not going to have a place to go.
Yeah.
They're going to get left out, and they're going to get stuck in the portal and not have a job either at their old school or at the schools that they think they can go to, right? Grass isn't always greener, and I don't know. I hope it does. And, hey, Tommy Tuberville's on Capitol Hill trying to make shit happen right now about changing the portal. I've been talking to all my buddies in the coaching ranks and trying to figure out this the Wild Wild West, and, like, well, hopefully something happens. Good luck.
Honestly, like, even the NIL thing, the NCAA has themselves in this spot, right?
It's
like
easy.
in college, like, if you guys played a baseball game and you went 2 for 3 with a homer for the win, and you stole some base and made a play, and you went eat dinner somewhere, and they got out in the restaurant and wanted to give you a meal, let him eat the meal. Like, why should that be illegal? If that kind of stuff would have went on and, like, you get taken care of and you eat a meal, then we're not where we're at right now.
Right.
Speaking of NIL, like, how much money would Johnny Manziel have made at A&M if NIL was around there? Like, how much money did A&M...
How much money would Tim Tebow have made?
Unbelievable. Dude, Tebow, Manziel. Like, how much money did A&M make off of Manziel in that heyday? They went from 0 back to, like, damn, A&M's back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and this is my argument with... Not argument. This is my issue with NIL. I don't have any problem at all with a college guy getting paid for what he does on the field, right? In 2009, when we won the World Series and we were playing really well and people loved us and they wanted to put our jersey in the locker in the dugout and the thing and people want to buy it and we got a cut from that, I'm good with it.
100% agree.
Car dealership wants to put us on a commercial or
hey, we'll give you a loaner for 2 months.
Great.
Absolutely.
And you give me money for that? That is that is the definition of name, image, making money off of your name based off of what you've done on the field, right? Now, I don't agree with going out and just paying these high school kids who you don't know have any idea how good they're going to be coming into college just to come to school. Like, that's not, to me, you're not paying them based off of name, image, and likeness. You're recruiting them by getting money. They have not earned any money on the field yet because they haven't done anything. Based off, listen.
But here's the thing.
You're investing.
But here's the thing, because no.
I'm not on
Here's the thing. You are right, but you're forgetting, because of what social media is today, they do have a name, image, and likeness.
Absolutely.
I get
those high school kids who haven't made it to campus yet somehow still already has 8,000 followers and people pay attention to their stuff.
I get that.
Stuff
I'm
like
not talking about the followers. I'm talking about, like, if they want to be treated like guys in the NFL or professional athletes and get paid and get endorsements. Guys in the NFL don't get endorsements just because they're in the NFL. Like, they're getting, they may get a salary or they may, undrafted free agent, sign for $20,000, whatever it is, right? Undrafted free agent, you make a team, you're the 53rd guy on the team, you're not getting an endorsement deal. You're scratching and clawing to make it in the NFL, right? But you play well.
But neither is the 3-star.
I know that, but my point is, what do you mean?
So you're saying, like, okay, these guys have gone to prove something, right? Well, the 3-star that's going to get to college, he's not getting all that kind of name, image, and likeness, love. And
I know that. That's my point. He has to earn that on the field.
Okay, so my point is
some
that
of them have already
5-star
earned it on the field. Like,
no, you haven't. But high school hasn't earned anything on the field. You haven't done. How many 5-stars have come to college have sucked? You haven't earned what you do in high school doesn't earn you anything in college.
It earns you scholarships from the top 5 colleges in the
and that's
program.
good enough
Mikey,
until you start making money.
Well, Mikey, I would 100% agree with you.
That's why I don't.
I agree with you in the sense that you really haven't done anything, but the way social media is run today and what it is makes people feel like they have, because they have eyes on them.
I'm not disagreeing, but my point is, I don't. If NIL is created for the way NIL was supposed to be created for, is like, hey, these guys should be making money based off of all the money that they're bringing to school. Okay, that's fine. Give them money based off of what they've done. Give them money. They give Johnny Manziel money. This college kid this high school kid coming into college hasn't earned the school $1 yet. Mm-hmm. He may give him a little bit of hype, but if he's not on the field, he hasn't earned $1 for this school. Not one. You are paying him to come to school, right? That to me is not name, image, and likeness. That's recruiting. Which that's the way it is right now. Doesn't mean that it's. Doesn't mean that's not. I'm just saying that's why I don't like.
The thing is I agree with you, but then maybe there's a problem in what it's called. And the reason why I'll say this is because, do you know who Arch Manning is?
Arch or Archie?
Arch Manning.
He's about to get paid.
Do you know? I mean, I know this. I know the.
Okay.
You're talking about the grandfather or grandson?
Arch. Do you know who Arch Manning is?
For sure.
If I just put a picture of him up, would you know who he was without even knowing his name?
No.
I guarantee a lot of people do. A whole lot of people.
He's got butthole eyes.
So my point is that's name, image, and likeness still.
But if his name was John Smith.
Right, but my
no. I agree, but that's my point.
Understand what that.
So my point in his name.
My point is I agree with what you're saying, but what the system is called. Maybe that should be changed because you know Arch's name.
I understand.
You know his image.
I understand.
He has a huge likeness already.
He's gonna make $10 million.
I understand the reality
of NFL football.
I understand the reality of what's happening. Doesn't mean that I have to like what's going on.
I'm saying is all I'm saying is
that's all I'm saying.
I agree with what you're saying, but what the system is called, people are exploiting it off of literally by what it's called.
The system can be called endorsed. I don't care what the system's called. That doesn't bother me. With the system, like the name of the system is not going to change my mentality on what I think, how it should be handled. I think it should be handled of, hey, you earn it on the field, you should get paid as much as you want.
You want incentive based.
I want it to be like the real world. These kids are getting paid to come to school because they're a good recruit and they haven't earned anything. That's all I want.
It should be an incentive pay plan
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. But it's not. I know that's not the reality.
These kids are basically getting signing bonuses.
Exactly. For doing nothing.
For doing nothing.
For being a good high school. For being a good 2A high school cut in high school that had really good camps.
Yeah, give me all those every day, because you have unlimited money.
You're talking. I'm talking about like if you wanted to change it, like that's how you should earn it to get the money. You shouldn't be just really good in high school. Like Drake Davis would have made a bunch of money, and the school would have lost a bunch of money on Drake Davis.
I mean, they did. They did. They essentially lost a scholarship, which is.
I think they would have lost a whole lot more.
Yeah, that's my point. That's my point.
Right, but it's going to happen regardless. You're going to take chances on players. I'm not saying it's not.
I'm just saying that if there's going to be a change, that should be the change. Now that I can't do it, but it doesn't mean that I have to like what's going on. Like I'm not hey, get off my lawn, old man. They shouldn't get paid, these athletes. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you should pay a guy.
The system that
should be able to earn it.
It's been manipulated.
Worse. No.
That's it.
It is. But the system that this is and how it's allowed to be used, it's worse than professional sports. And people,
absolutely.
People outside of it don't see that. You know what I mean? Like they don't understand that's what it is.
That's my issue with it.
Well, you had the guy from Kentucky. What's the basketball player's name? He didn't go to the draft. He got $2 million to come back.
He was supposed to be a first-round pick.
Yeah, he got $2 million to come back to play basketball for Kentucky.
Right.
But he proved it on the.
And they got money.
Right, but he got on the field, like got on the court.
No, he's good. He was going
for sure. Like,
but he passed up. He passed the NBA draft.
Yeah, listen to me. If you are on
$2 million,
that would never have happened.
No.
Listen, I mean, honestly, like to come back to college and have fun and be a collegiate athlete and get $2 million to play college basketball.
Matt Leiter did it. What do you think was happening to him? He was like, "This USC check is fat
for sure,
and I don't have to take classes."
You realize that as a college on a full ride, you still have money in your you get put money in your pocket, right?
Yeah, they've changed the rules for.
You've always gotten a stipend.
Well, they added the stipend and then they added
the stipend's been there for a long time.
Yeah, no, they had the stipend, then they added cost of attendance, which has led to what we are now, which is name, image, and likeness.
Right. My whole point is, before they started doing the name, image, and likeness, before they did the cost of attendance, you had a stipend that was like $1,600 a month, $1,800 a month, maybe. That you're making.
Yeah, but it's different for everybody. That $1,600 a month for some people is going home.
Oh, yeah, but my point is like, so you have your living. You're doing all that stuff for free. I'm not saying that they should not get paid. All I'm saying is to say that.
And I don't think you do realize it, but I think you're arguing against is the amount of money that college football makes.
No, I don't care. I know how much they make.
So they don't care what it's a bottomless pit. Recruiting
that has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
I know, yeah, well,
I don't care how much. You can have $800 billion. You got to be the Live Golf Tour. It's not going to change the fact that as businessmen. You're making an investment on something they have not earned anything. They don't know. You don't know what you're going to get from them. You're giving it because you want them to do well and you want them to come to your school.
Yeah.
They don't play for 3 years. You're going to lose $300,000.
They don't give a shit.
Yes, they do. They're going to.
No, they're not. There's people that are richer than you think, dude.
Bro, you're telling me that over time, you start giving all these recruits guys.
It only takes one to hit. And you're like, oh, they won us a national championship. If you paid for Joe Burrow to come here in an inordinate amount of money and you win a national championship, you're like, that was worth it.
They care. Business guys are going to, if they're giving out $500,000, $1 million a year, and it's adding up, and you're getting one guy out of the $15 million you're paying out of this collective and you're losing money, they're going to have an issue with that.
No,
they will. But what's going to happen?
Like
they
stocks.
will. You're right. And then maybe that stops here, and then the next school's the one that elevates.
No doubt. I'm just saying there's going to be some regulation in it. But to think that
there's nobody to regulate it,
there will be. They're going to figure it out.
They're going to be schools that are relevant that should have no reason being relevant.
Yeah, they're going to figure it out.
It's A&M.
I mean, do they have as much money as anybody?
No doubt.
Why do you think A&M and Texas are back?
Listen to me.
They're going to try to.
There's a reason why the NFL has a salary cap.
Yeah.
So they're going to do something. You're naive to think that they're going to allow this just to be a free for all and just let all these guys that have unlimited money do what they want. If they did it, they wouldn't let let the NFL do it. The highest professional sport of all things, free market, they will let them do that. But they don't. They have a salary cap. So they're going to do something to cap it.
They have to.
You're naive to think that they're not going to do that.
No, but I mean, it doesn't really change the haves and the have-nots. The teams that are always have been relevant will continue to be relevant.
But that's not my point.
That doesn't matter.
That's not my
but it doesn't change anything. USC, A&M, the only team that's new to this game is A&M. USC, Texas.
You're missing what I'm saying. You're missing what I'm saying.
The current system of what you're saying is literally what he just said.
Yeah, you're missing what I'm
A&M's new this year. In 2 years, it could be UCLA. And the next 2 years, it could be another school that says, you know what, we're going to pay for this championship.
If Notre Dame lowers their standards and they won't get in this playing field, they're going to be
no doubt.
You're
missing what I'm saying. Like, the big players are in play. That's fine. They're all going to be in play.
Because they've been cheating the entire time.
LSU's got enough money to compete. A&M's got enough money to compete. But listen, if you don't limit it, A&M's got more money than everybody, and Texas got more money. But if you limit it and you say, okay, this is the cap of the amount of money you can spend in a year to recruit or bring whatever, then it levels the playing field for the bigger schools that have the money. Like, you can't, if you're going to have this system, you can't treat it differently than NFL in this case, at this point. It's the NFL now. It's a professional organization.
How about all these colleges go to a salary cap to where you can only have so much money in
your
collective?
That's what it's going to be. That's my point. That's what it's going to be. I've said that from the beginning.
Then it gets creative. Then you got to go hire a GM.
Exactly.
We're not wasting.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
We're not going to spend this much money.
They're going to go just under the table again.
They're gonna.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that doesn't change anything.
But it does.
Because if you get caught on the table and you have the same
because
it does. The same people who've done it before in the past. The same people.
You're crazy. Lloyd, you're crazy to say it wouldn't change. Lloyd, you're crazy to say it wouldn't change because it wouldn't be this.
But there's going to be another regulating.
Yeah. It wouldn't, Lloyd. It wouldn't be this right now if it would have changed. Like you took the cap off of it. And you took the two. You squeezed the two.
You know what's going to happen? You're going to have a league like the NFL. You have 32 owners, right? The league is run by the owners and the commissioner. You're not going to have the NCAA anymore. You're going to have a commissioner,
Roger Goodell,
and you're going to have a group of.
Well, you should apply for that.
However many.
What?
The Roger Goodell of the NCAA.
Yeah, dude, don't be a big shield all day. I'll take every bullet.
The commissioner of the NCAA, whatever he is going to be the commissioner of whatever they call this next group. Then you're going to have a group of 50 people on the board. Instead of 32, 50 people, and they are going to be the rules, and they're going to have the board, and they're going to talk just like the commission. And then the colleges are going to have a union. They're going to do all kinds of shit because now it's a professional organization. That's what they're treating it like. It's a professional organization. You are naive to think that they're not going to have to limit this and have it a free-for-all. That's not going to happen. They're going to have some – I'm not saying they're going to take it away, but they're going to say there's a cap. That's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be like the NFL. I've been saying that from the minute this happened. There's going to have to be like the NFL.
I would be shocked. But they're not going to have 50 people. They're going to gather everybody that's ahead of each conference, and they're going to try to figure out a number. And it's not going to work because that's not fair market value. People in the SEC have more money. Why do you think they come to the schools? Why do you think that all of the facilities are better?
Why do you think you think
because they win.
You think the market in New
That's
York,
fair market value. What happens in the SEC gets distributed to every school in the conference.
So I get it. Do you think that what they do and you think it's fair market value in New York to say the market in New York is a lot better than the market in New Orleans?
Yeah, look at
salary
look at Major League Baseball.
What about it?
Why do you think everybody goes to New York? They have more money to spend, and there's no salary cap. That's worked in different organizations before.
You're missing the point of this whole thing, right? Like, they have a de facto salary cap in baseball. They have the luxury tax.
It's called the luxury tax.
Yeah, you got to pay the tax.
Which teams that can.
But you know why? You know why they don't have that?
I don't care.
It's because they have a players union. If they didn't have a players union, it wouldn't be like the way it is, right? So they have. If you're gonna do this, you're gonna have to have two sides of the coin, and you have somebody.
I want to do NIL. It's so boring. Get so in the weeds.
Well,
because there's no answers yet. It's all speculative.
But I'm just telling you. If I'm just looking at it from the business side of it. Like, that's the only next step. Unless you cancel NIL and you say it can't happen, the only next step is to put business people in charge of it and say, okay, if this is going to happen, okay, let's figure out how to regulate this. And every other thing in the world that has money has had that. Only other thing it hasn't had is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin goes to $70, $1,000.
I think it's gonna come into where you're gonna have to report all of the.
Yes, it's gonna be.
You're gonna have
to be
business. You're gonna have to report every one of these deals, these NIL deals that they're getting. So basically, like, these companies that are giving out the money and stuff like that, they're doing deals. They're not the ones that are going under the table and saying, hey, here's
this
X amount of dollars. Here's X amount of dollars to come to school here. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's what's happening right now is, hey, here's X amount of dollars to come to school here, because they're all using the collectives and shit like that. They're going to go, well, hey, listen, the money that they can make, you're going to have to document it. What deal it is, what's going on, so we know what's going on there.
That's it.
We should just quit
because these big companies are not going to be the companies that's going to say, yeah, come on, dude.
What's going to happen is some of these kids are going to get in trouble because they're not going to know how to fucking
No, what's going to happen is your neighbor is going to be the freshman running back in about 2 years. That's what's going to happen.
My neighbor.
It's going to be a little bit.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
I know. We should just quit arguing and go drink and bet on the Caesar Sports app, huh?
Caesar Sports app. LSU 15 for free tickets.
What about for Saints tickets?
Saints 15. Four preseason tickets to the Saints game, but I think you really want the LSU game.
How do I apply for that?
You download the Caesars app.
Yeah, you're cooked.
Once again, give it to him. Give it to him clear.
Listen,
what do you got to do?
Download the Caesars app. If you've already downloaded the Caesars app and you've already used our other prior promo codes, I appreciate that. Unfortunately, it doesn't count for this one. So what you do is you go find somebody else in your family. You tell them to sign up. You sign up. We're using their name, their email address. They sign up with their social. They're probably not gonna give you your social security number, but you sign up. LSU 15 is how you apply to get these 4 tickets. We will give them away. Be nice and just share. You don't need all 4 probably. You can probably bring you and a date and let them bring them and a date, and you double date, and it's great. But if you already signed up, I appreciate that. You just can't sign up again. LSU 15 using the Caesars app, Caesars Sportsbook. Promo code is LSU 15. 4 tickets. Or Saints 15 if you want to go to the Saints preseason game.
I'm in.
I don't think you're in for the Saints game.
I'm in.
All right. Real quick, the last 2 segments, man, I didn't even talk at NFL. I wanted to talk about it. We just didn't have time. We did have time.
I got to go. I love y'all.
You're out.
I'm out.
Go get your son.
Did we get the over or under?
All right, my computer's kind of messed up.
6.5 and get it there. That's where you're winning. What are you doing?
I can't. My computer's broken. So
just
I
now?
need you to go through all of the stuff.
What do you mean your computer's broken?
It's not moving. So just go through the segments.
Did you?
It's not moving. Go through the segments. No, I don't. Why are you acting like a female and asking me questions? It's not working. Go through it. It doesn't. My screen won't move anymore. It says insufficient memory in this website, so close it and it's whatever. So I need you to go through the things.
What do you want? Not my fault.
It's not my fault. Which brought
to you by
Dozy
Sounds like you have
Place.
a perfect not my fault right now. Your laptop's broken.
His laptop's broken. It's
not my fault.
Working. So
a couple of not my faults that we had coming up is obviously the first one that I picked is I don't know what happened to TJ Finley. I have no idea how it got to that point.
He had no helmet on. Stupid.
That's fine.
I've run from the campus cops before.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it got blown into such a proportion of he's trying to evade the police. Like they want to arrest him for all these things. Like, bro, I'm on a moped not wearing a helmet.
Should have been on a scooter.
Yeah, should have been on a scooter.
Should have been on a scooter.
I think that the way that whole thing was handled, it was just such a calamity by not only Auburn, but the Auburn PD, and for him to have to fucking go to jail for a little bit is unbelievable. Take a mugshot. Like, this is supposed to be somebody Like
he's gonna be your backup quarterback.
Yeah, or he's at least in the running for like a starting quarterback. And we've had him on the show before with Collada when we were first starting. He's awesome.
Yeah,
like
nice kid.
He is not like evading the police. Like he knows better, And for that
But did he run for the police though?
I think he was just chilling on the ped. Like he didn't realize that he was trying to get pulled over. And there was.
You didn't hear those sirens or lights?
I think they can't be
He
me.
thought there was no way they were.
He thought like, oh, these lights just can't be me. I'm just gonna keep cruising. You don't think the guy? You don't think the guy didn't come over the loudspeaker and said, "Hey, can you please pull over your moped, please? Because you're
I'm not doing
getting pulled
anything
over."
wrong.
He's got a loud motor.
Yeah, like you don't think he heard any of that?
He was wearing his Auburn football helmet.
Is that what he was doing?
No.
Sound was muffled.
With the visor on?
With the visor.
Yeah. So you're asking if that's his fault?
I think it's not. Yeah.
I don't know the whole story. If the cop was asking him to pull over and he didn't pull over, just pull over. The cop's gonna let you go.
And he signed an NIL deal with Amazon.
Yep. How does that happen?
How does it what? Huh?
I mean, of all people to sign for Amazon.
You got to go to practice.
I didn't know Amazon was giving in my NIL deals.
I mean, whatever.
That's
crazy. It's being
I don't know if it's his fault.
But not only that,
it's the police, the campus.
Yeah, I got to know more about that.
I don't know exactly
how this thing went down to be able to actually. This you got me on this one. This is the first. You got me on this one. I don't know.
Because if it had bro, if you pull me over and I finally pull over, they obviously got him at some point where he stopped.
I mean, you're on a moped. I can't outrun you.
Yeah, I mean, I could just go forever. I mean, yeah,
I can't. This thing has a cap. I can't outrun you.
75 miles
to the gallon on this hog.
It has a cap gallon-wise and it has a cap speed-wise. I can't outrun you.
Right. I don't know. I mean,
I just feel like Auburn PD should have pulled over.
I think the cops could have probably. I think the campus police probably could have handled it a little differently. I don't know if he ignored their request or what, but I mean, I think that was a little aggressive to
send him to jail.
Arrest him.
Yeah. And then he gets. I mean, he's 6'7" on that moped. Like he's not happy. He's on it.
Yeah,
no, he's probably happy.
I mean, he wouldn't have it if he wasn't happy.
I think he's probably happy.
Joyride.
Is there another one?
That's the only one.
Oh, they said one of two. Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
I think it was both their fault. I think
your laptop was the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next one, the next segment up, we have Curtain Call brought to you by
Lance Beal, attorney at law, Louisiana.
Curtain Call. We have a couple of these, so pick up what you will. Anybody want Joe Burrow in the golf cart?
I think that was Jack's.
Well, I'll give one too. It's not even in the doc, but I'll give this one. Curtain Call will go to Matt Carpenter today. As of today, of all qualified hitters, he is leading all of baseball in OPS.
Yeah, does he have 16 homers?
I don't even know how many, but it's a good amount. He's leading all of baseball in OPS, right? This is coming off the heels of hitting 161, I believe, last year.
And the year before wasn't good either.
161 last year. The year before wasn't good. Signs an off-season deal to go to Texas. Goes to AAA. Within the first month of this season, he was like, yeah, they're not going to call me up. I'm out. Tells him he wants out. He leaves. The Yankees sign him. He finds his way up to the big leagues. He's in the big leagues. He is making his first return back tonight to St. Louis.
Okay.
Curtain call to Matt Carpenter. Hopefully they show him some love.
And I hope he
had a long, very good
career.
And hopefully he hits a homer there.
Yeah. No batting gloves.
With the stash.
With the stash. He needs the stash.
Thick stash. Stash looks good.
I mean, and I guess this is what Joey Gallo is thinking can hopefully happen for him in Los Angeles.
Listen,
it's like, let me get somewhere else.
Talent hasn't gone away.
Yeah.
No.
Head
the
gets in the way
Monstars
sometimes.
didn't steal his talent.
Head gets in the way sometimes, and sometimes the pressure, and sometimes changes scenery is all you need. What's your curtain call?
My curtain call is. I don't even know if this is appropriate. Curtain call to Cleveland, Ohio. Will play host to the National Massage Therapist Convention later this month after the Deshaun Watson signing.
I can't. Why am I laughing? I can't laugh at this. I'm not supposed to be laughing at this.
Boy, those things just come
man.
And you know
circle,
you know who the marquee speaker is? It doesn't even make any sense. Michael Phelps. So is he in trouble too? Is he how many massages does he get? If you're the one to be the big speaker for this thing, if Deshaun never got in trouble, this is his time to speak. He would be the keynote speaker out there, right? He's a big advocate.
That's tough
for the National Massage.
I would assume
an association I did not know existed.
I would assume that there's going to be a lot of protests.
I was wondering
there.
this: if Deshaun's playing, do you think they just strike the whole thing and say, "Nah, we out. We're not coming there"?
They did come out and say they're advocates against Deshaun Watson, but
I mean, duh.
We've already booked the deal months in advance. We can't move.
Well, I'm saying
all
there's
of
going to be
this.
some. There's going to be some.
So much
like,
There'll be no convention this year.
Got so many towels and
there'll be
lotions.
something. There'll be something
move.
going. There'll be something going on like.
It's gonna be like a PETA thing.
Especially if
They just
Deshaun
throw
doesn't
a
get
big
suspended
thing
any
of
more than
baby
6
oil on you
games.
walking in.
Deshaun doesn't get suspended for an extra 4 extra games, just 6 games. There's definitely going to be some sort of issue going on there that they're not liking with Deshaun Watson.
I think they already don't like what's going on with Deshaun.
I know, but I think it's
I don't
gonna
think the
be even
games
more
matter
vocal.
at this point to them.
Maybe not.
I mean, yeah, you're insulting.
Very unfortunate timing.
Insulting the profession. I mean, these people work hard. So, never mind.
I mean,
People
Robert
work
Kraft's
harder.
insulting it too.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He should have been the keynote speaker.
Yeah.
Those are the
What's your
two.
curtain call?
I mean, my curtain call. I don't really know what my curtain call is. I had a couple, and then I had
Excedrin.
a little snafu that happened before this, and my mind went a little mush for a little bit.
I could tell during the show. Lord,
What do you mean?
yeah, your NIL takes.
My NL takes are right on par. You're just naive to it right now. I mean, everything's a business. Everything's a business. And they're going to treat it like a if they're going to do this and they want everything to happen this way, they're going to treat it like a business. And that's going to eventually, like, the regulations are going to be more business-like. It's a naive to think that wouldn't do that because
I think they're going to let it go.
They've done it in every other avenue of life that has made money.
You know what's going to happen? It's not going to be college football anymore. The Rock and the XFL are going to take this thing over, and that's where we're going.
Something's going to happen. There's need to be a big shift of like a change in something. Either NCAA needs to change and do something to change it, or they're going to have to make it. What's mine?
McAfee getting the deal. Have you not seen this?
The deal with
Omaha Productions.
I heard that. He was talking.
Yeah, they're doing 6 college football games, like a.
Oh, that was up
Manning.
to something season.
Yes. Well, a tiny piece. But they're doing 6 broadcasts from the Pat McAfee, the new studio, to where they'll be doing like a Manning cast.
Like a Manning cast. Well, actually, I do. That was the thing that I want to talk about. It wasn't Mac? I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with Mac. My curtain call is to Peyton Manning and Omaha. Like, what Peyton Manning's doing is like
smart as shit.
Unbelievable. He is. I heard today or yesterday. He is Omaha Productions, which is Peyton Manning's production company.
He was branding it the entire time, and we didn't know.
I mean,
on the field.
I think that came after. It wasn't intentionally
came after.
Hey, this is what I'm trying to do. But Omaha Productions is under contract right now, producing at one time 66 shows. 66 shows. Omaha Productions is in the process of producing right now. So
how many people they got working on?
Yeah,
curtain call to Peyton Manning and what he's trying to do, and the fact that he said he wanted to create his own thing. Shout out to Pat McAfee doing his own thing, and now I think that's a perfect marriage as Omaha Productions and Pat McAfee.
The only thing that stinks is it's going to be on allegedly
ESPN.
Yeah, let the boys. The boys aren't. They're not built.
ESPN
for that.
Plus, maybe that's different.
No, it's on ESPN2. Is how they announced it the other day. But that's not where the boys thrive for that show. They can't.
And maybe they'll just bleep it out.
But then it won't be. Yeah, but it won't be what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, true. But shout out to all the boys.
He cusses every other word.
Shout out to Peyton for doing some big old things. Shout out for Eli hanging on too and just jumping on board. All right, great show, heated show. Not really heated, just great show. Good debate. Have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday. We'll be all next week. We got shows all next week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday 6 to 8. Wednesday 6 to 8. Friday 4:30 to 6. From here, again.
Hope I can be back Monday.
Here we go again.
I gotta do.
Just keep going.
Why
are you even listening to that?
I gotta
download the Caesar Sportsbook app. Promo code MMLSU15 to enter to win 4 tickets to the LSU Florida State game in New Orleans. Saints 15 for the 4 tickets to the New Orleans Saints game. Again, If you've already signed up for the Caesar Sportsbook app using our other promo code, please try to find an alternate person who has not signed up and split this with them because
you can sign up 9 months from now for next year with a new Social Security number from your child. Just plan in advance.
You can't have a social security card until your child is born.
You get a Social Security number, that's what I say, when they're born. So 9 months from now, you'll be ready.
Yeah, but they can't get the tickets
today.
9 months. The
No,
tickets
we're
are
going to have
way
another
gone.
promo.
9 months. We don't know what that's going to be, though.
I know, but at least you have an option.
I mean, I guess. If you listen to that, that's a lot longer. To me, you can get it quicker with my plan. Is to go look for a friend, say, hey, let's split this, and let's go for it.
Or you could get laid tonight.
You get what?
Or you could get laid tonight.
Steal someone's identity, too. You could do that, too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's your kid. You know.
Not your kid. All right. Thanks for watching Mik'd Up. We're brought to you by Sterling Automotive. We are live from Uncle Earls. We'll be live again on Monday with some really cool guests. Actually, we got a confirmation today that we have a cool guest coming in next week. I'm not going to tell you who it is. It's a football guest, which is great.
Skeen's coming back Monday.
Oh, yeah, and Skeens. That was a debacle.
That was a debacle.
On Wednesday. He'll be coming in on Monday. All right. Thank you. Love you. On all podcast networks. Like, subscribe, share it, tell a friend. Mik'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive. Peace.
Good weekend.